Perfect weather, the perfect stadium, and the perfect occasion. It is the final of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. Annabelle, I'm excited. How about yourself?
What a day for it. It's going to be an awesome game here, this stage, CommBank Stadium. What could get better than this?
Well, we've got two teams that have really battled hard this year. They finished 1 and 2. It's the perfect way to get to the final. APIA and Macarthur Rams. The Rams finished premiers. What do you expect from them this afternoon? I
think the Rams will be really strong. The key to their success today is the midfield, I think. And they're without Beth Gordon, who did her MCL last week. That's a big loss. Macarthur's been called into the midfield to replace her. That midfield needs to work well together. They need to, not skip a beat without Beth Gordon in there. But I think they can do that. I think they can be really strong and create the right opportunities.
No doubt that midfield three has got to be up to the task because they've got just as tough an opponent on the opposite end as well. But that central defensive pairing this year for the Rams has been massive. They've done such a fantastic job, Maya Lobo and Madison McComiskey. How important will they be to shut down Ash Crofts, who's such a dangerous player for APIA?
Phenomenal. I think those two as a pair, especially with Madison being the captain as well, they've led from the back, really strong aerial players. And I think they're crucial to stopping Ash Crofts, who is the key player for APIA.
And what about the goalkeeper, Teresa Morrissey? We've gone through a bit of the team, but how about Teresa Morrissey?
Last week, she was incredible. The amount of one-on-one saves she had against Sydney Olympic, who were in the clear. She came off her line, made the tackle she needed to. She'll just put on another performance like that today.
And I think that's key for her as well because she's a keeper that likes to stay high. She likes to come and pick up that loose ball over the top and sweep when needed. So she'll be important. Moving to the front third now, we've sort of jumbled it all up, but in the front three, Kelly Brown scoring goals at the right time of the season, Indy Bry on fire, and Bronte True comes into the squad because of the injury to Beth Gordon. And how much fire will she have in her belly to do well here today, you reckon?
She will want to prove herself. She's stepped up. Last year she was in the League One women's competition. She's moved up to the NPL and hasn't missed a beat, scoring goals whenever she can. She's been dropped from the starting lineup at times just because of how much talent Macarthur have. No knock on her. So she'll want to prove that she's been deserving of having that starting role all year and play well tonight.
And the elephant in the room is Stephen Peters. It's his final game in charge of the Macarthur Rams. He moves to Perth Glory at the end of this season. We spoke to him just moments earlier. How do you think he's going to approach this occasion?
I think he'll try and treat it like any other game or even any other grand final. They've been to the last two. A lot of these players were there for those last two, and he'll try and be calm, try and be, not talk about that. Keep it the elephant in the room for now, and then after the game, no matter the result, he'll be, have a special moment with his players, with his squad, after what has been a really successful year.
Well, congratulations to him and wish him the best of luck in the A-League women's competition. Let's move on to APIA now. They've been second best, I guess you could say, for the majority of the season. Do they have what it takes to be the best today after 90 minutes and perhaps extra time or penalties?
I think absolutely. Ash Crofts, as I said before, she is the key player. She's a massive inclusion. She came off the bench when these two sides played each other 2 weeks ago. She struggled with injuries to her ribs and her lung as well. So that was a big loss for them that game. And when she came on at Lambert Park 2 weeks ago, she came on and she got the goal to make it 2-1. So I think she is absolutely massive to their chances today.
I don't think it's just her quality, but it's her presence in the squad that really offers something extra to APIA in the front third. And we look at the left wing, Charlotte Lancaster, fantastic left foot. We spoke about Indy Breyer just briefly, but Charlotte Lancaster, another one with an excellent left foot, fantastic player. Down the right, Sophie Hoban. How important is that front three to put the pressure on Macarthur, who've generally been slow starters to games?
Yeah, I think those three are really important. We saw last week APIA got off to a quick start, scoring in the 4th minute off that Charlotte Lancaster corner. And as you said, phenomenal left foot, wonderful off a set piece. I really think the key matchup today is Tenille Hay, right back from Macarthur Rams against Charlotte Lancaster. I think that is where danger can happen for APIA. They can really create opportunities on that left side with Lancaster linking up with Crofts in the middle. So I think that's something Macarthur definitely needed to watch out for.
Well, I can't disagree. I think that the major battle will be in the midfield.
Yeah.
I think Estelle Fragale, Angelique Christodoulou and Mona Walker really need to step it up because the three for Macarthur have been phenomenal all year. these three need to step up. They've got the quality to do so. I think if they can win that midfield battle, I think Macarthur can come away with the victory here today.
Yeah, especially since Macarthur don't have their preferred three in midfield. You know, Beth Gordon is a massive loss. This APIA midfield have gelled together all year. That they have been a strong midfield triangle, and I think they can definitely cause some problems today.
In the defence, obviously, someone's playing their final game as well. APIA Leichhardt captain Charlotte Young. She's come into the club. She's a hero, really, to a lot of the young girls that come out in force. They'll be out in force again today. She's been a hero to those girls. How will she be approaching this game? I saw her just before holding a speech to her teammates and thanking them and telling them how important this situation is for her. How do you think she's feeling inside?
I mean, it's a pretty special way to go out here at CommBank Stadium in the grand final, but at the same time, you know, it'd be a real mix of emotions. You'd be disappointed to have to leave a sport like this, have to leave a club like APIA, you know, but you're retiring in a pretty special way. And if she can help them lift this trophy here in front of us this afternoon, as you said, an absolute club hero.
And finally, APIA they've done well. They've come into this competition only a few years ago. They've really just excelled season after season. They continue to get better. They won 2 trophies last year. They're trophyless this year. How important is it for them to continue their dominance and their rise in the league to win the grand final this afternoon?
This is the one thing missing for them. I was honestly surprised when I'd seen that they hadn't even been to a grand final before, because they've just been at the top for so long now, and they've only been in the league for 5 years. So they have just been phenomenal the last few years.
Club champions
2 years in a row. Last year they were minor premiers. They won the Sapphire Cup. This is the trophy that they're missing today, and I think they have the quality to do it.
Well, give us your prediction, Annabelle.
Well, I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be Macarthur Rams 2, APIA 1.
Okay, well, Mystic Nick's prediction for today's game. Mystic Nick goes with an APIA win. I think the underdog might just get over Macarthur. That midfield 3 might just get over the top of the Rams, with Sunaga dropping in. Not quite used to that. But we're in for a real spectacular game here. We're hoping for a big crowd as well. It's a massive day, a beautiful day, a perfect day for football. Make sure to tune in from 2 p.m. Promises to be a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CommBank Stadium. It's the grand final in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, and what a stage we have here. The weather is perfect, the backdrop is perfect, the crowd is building. We have the Macarthur Rams taking on APIA Leichhardt. Beside me, my co-host, Annabelle Banfield. Annabelle, tell me, how excited are you for today?
Oh, I'm so pumped. This game, it's what the whole season has been building towards, and we have the 2 best teams making it to the grand final. Can't ask for anything better than that.
Well, the teams are just about to walk out, so we'll run through the lineups quickly. For the Macarthur Rams, in goal, Teresa Morrissey. The back 4, Tennille Hay, Maya Loba, Madison McComiskey, and Olivia Sloan. It's those 2 at the back that have been so crucial to the Rams' fantastic defensive displays. In the midfield, 1 big absentee, no Bethany Gordon. In her place, Miku Sunaga drops into the middle. Estelle Fragale supports her, along with Mel Caceres in the number 10 role. Up top left is Indy Breyer, leading the line Kelly Brown, and coming into the squad is Bronte True. And Annabelle, Bronte True gets her opportunity with that massive loss of Beth Gordon.
I think Bronte True is someone who can definitely step up to the plate. She's stepped up all year, having come from League One women's competition last year, and she scored goals when she's given the opportunity. So she's definitely a quality replacement.
For APIA Leichhardt, they name an unchanged 11 from last week. In goals, Sally James. Back 4 of Paige Haywood, Charlotte Young, Tash Pryor, and Tanya Borazio. In the middle, Estelle Fragale, Angelique Christodoulou, and Mona Walker. This is where I think the battle will be won. Sophie Hoban, Charlotte Lancaster, and Ash Crofts round up a front 3. How do you see APIA lining up?
I think APIA, as an unchanged lineup, look very strong. As you said, that midfield. The midfield is where this game is going to be won or lost. That's how it happened 2 weeks ago at Lambert Park when these sides faced each other, and Macarthur looked stronger on that day. But as you said, no Bethany Gordon. How do they recover from that? How do they move on from that? Last week she got injured in the 32nd minute, I believe it was. Pretty, early in the first half. Mika Sunaga came in. She performed well, but she's not Bethany Gordon.
Well, that's the thing. Bethany Gordon has that little bit of bite about her that separates her from her teammates. She doesn't stop fighting. She's a real tough player in midfield, and I just don't know if they're going to have someone to replace her. And you look at the opposition with, in particular, Mona Walker and Estelle Fragale. They're two players that really bite hard. They play really hard in the midfield. They call Fragale the Gattuso of the women's competition. So will Macarthur be able to match that? I think they won't, and I think that's where the game will be won and lost.
I think it'll take a big, challenge for them to respond to. I think Darcy Malone has been strong the last few weeks. She has, worked with Bethany Gordon, been a pair that have been strong together. So, but without Bethany Gordon, can she do it on her own? Can she do it alongside Sunaga? We'll find out here today.
Well, we are just waiting for the teams to walk out now. You can see the starting lineups on your screen at the moment. Tell me about the venue. The venue, we walked out on the pitch pre-game. How good is that field out there?
Oh, phenomenal. The field quality is just next level, and it's a good size, it's a good surface, the crowd is all pouring in. You can't ask for a better stage to decide our champions than this.
And it's Stephen Peters' final game as the head coach of the Macarthur Rams. How do you think he'll approach this this occasion and this event?
We spoke to him pre-game, and as he said, it's bittersweet because you're super excited to be in a final. This is a pretty good way to go out if you can lift a trophy in your final game. But at the same time, it means you're moving on. It means you're leaving the Rams, and it's a very special place for him. Going on to exciting opportunities at Perth, but it'd be disappointing to have to leave a club where he's had so much success.
And you can see the two teams walking out now. The FIFA anthem on in the background. Again, the crowd is building. It'll get even bigger as we go. I'm expecting a real quality battle here this afternoon between these two teams that have been 1 and 2, battling it out the whole season. We'll see who can come out on top. Annabelle, your prediction pre-game?
My pre-game prediction is that Macarthur Rams will get the win 2-1, but it could go either way. There's such talent out on this pitch today.
Well, my tip was that I think it'll be APIA Leichhardt. I have to go opposite to you, unfortunately, on this occasion. I do think that there might just be a little bit too much pressure on the Rams. We haven't spoken about it in the pre-game, but it's been talked about for the last 2-3 weeks. They are going for the opportunity to win 3 grand final championships in a row.
3 in a row would just be remarkable, and they do have the squad to do it. They are a talented team, but as you said, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot.
We're gonna call our pitch side man now, Will Constantinides, and Will give us a bit of an update on what the situation is like at pitch side. Let's see what Will has to say now. Just waiting for the connection with him. Doesn't seem as though it's working at the moment, but we'll get to that in a moment. Not sure if Will can hear us now. Will, can you hear us down there?
Very quick team photo. Very quick photo.
Can you hear us down there, Will?
Come down this way, come down this way.
Not quite working with our pitchside commentator. I'm sure we'll sort things out with him a little later.
Will's organising the APIA team photos, so we'll get him into the action of providing pitchside updates in a little bit.
So the teams are taking their pre-match photos. Sally James going through some last-minute warm-ups. It is looking very, very exciting. These moments are they're what players wait for, and they really can't wait to get on the pitch and experience these sort of opportunities. How would you feel in this sort of arena? Actually, sorry, Annabelle, because I think we've got Will now. Will, I'm hoping you can hear us now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Will, tell us how is it down on the pitch side right now?
It's great. The atmosphere going, the fans poured in. You've got the APIA fans on the right, the Macarthur fans on the left. The conditions for football should be a great one, guys.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing you again later on, Will. Thank you very much for tuning in there.
That's all I think.
There we go. So APIA will kick us off this afternoon. They'll be attacking from right to left in their change kits of white. The Macarthur Rams in their standard maroon, attacking from left to right. And match officials just doing the quick check of the nets and ensuring that we're ready to go. Annabelle, are you ready?
I'm excited. I think this is going to be an awesome game.
And we just got the thumbs up, so kickoff about to take place, and we're off here. The 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final. Olivia Sloan thrown into the action straight away, and there's that midfield battle. Mona Walker immediately putting the pressure on Miku Sunaga. And last week, 2 weeks ago, when the game was there to be won for the premiership, I said that APIA had to start strong. They had to press high from the beginning because the Rams had started slow in previous weeks, and it looks like they've really started on the front foot here, already pressing high.
Yeah, I think the inclusion of Ashley Crofts, we've spoken about her from an attacking standpoint, but the energy she brings to defence and that high press, it's unmatched. So for APIA, it's crucial that they can keep that momentum going.
Mary Caceres has been a major part of Macarthur Rams' success over the last few years, been involved in both grand finals, and now Bronte True trying to break through. Here is True crossing into the box. A good ball falls for Brown, and it's an early goal inside, the first 2 minutes. What a start for the Macarthur Rams.
I don't think anybody expected that one, Nick. That's just unbelievable. I'm at a loss for words for how quickly Macarthur got down that field. And it wasn't the perfect cross from True. She slipped as she made it, but they weren't able to clear the ball from their box. They weren't very well set up in the box defensively, APIA. And Kelly Brown can pounce like that. She's just the perfect striker in that sense.
Well, there you have it. Again, we spoke about how Bronte True's pace could create problems for APIA Leichhardt, and she has, within the first 70 seconds of the game, breaking down through the right, crossing into the box, and Kelly Brown, as she's done so many times, pounces and takes full advantage. First blood to the Rams in this grand final.
Dream start for Macarthur, but it's the opposite side of the coin for APIA. Horror start to go down in the first couple of minutes. Do they change their approach from here?
Well, now it's a question for Brad outside. How does his squad react? What's their character like? We know they're a team that generally is a good character, a team that can bounce back when the chips are down. But now, really, in the final, going down after 70 seconds, everything that was spoken about pre-game, everything that was all the match talk going into the game has just gone right out the window because they're down after such a short period of time. And the Rams, they're in possession already again. They'll be looking to really hit APIA here early with Kelly Brown on the ball. Here's Caceres now. It's a misplaced pass, but it works out for Sunaga. Indy Breyer. Sloan making the overlapping run. Cross comes in, blocked as the first corner of the afternoon, and the APIA defence under even more pressure now.
Interesting to see who goes out to take it. India Breyer has been strong on set pieces all season. Kelly Brown as well. Last week, they managed to score off a corner from the left-hand side of the field, and it was Kelly Brown finding the head of Miku Sunaga, who is not a particularly tall player, but she's got a good finish, so APIA will need to mark her tightly.
That one gone all the way through now for Hayward to chase down and keep in. It does so.
Hayward's been strong this season, a good replacement for the injured Claudia Chico at left back for APIA.
Pass there, not quite finding Charlotte Lancaster. Of course, we haven't really spoken about her at all in the build-up to this game, but Chiara De Domizio unavailable here this afternoon, and she's been missing for the last month, so APIA haven't really felt her absence that much because they've learnt to play without her. Could she have added something more to this team had she been available for selection?
Perhaps. She's an incredibly quick player, explosive on the ball, but I think APIA have enough quality that, as you said, her loss hasn't been felt too much. With Hoban and Lancaster as the wingers here today, they're not lacking in quality, those two players.
Again, we just saw a foul on Sunaga, and it's definitely something that I think that APIA are going to try and really put the pressure on. They want to make her uncomfortable. She's playing in a position where she hasn't really played before. But again, Sunaga is one of those players that whatever the coach asks of her, that's what she does. And that's why Stephen Peters has so much respect and just trusts her so much.
Well, she stepped up to the task last week when they played Sydney Olympic. As I said, Bethany Gordon suffered that injury, and Sunaga was tasked with stepping into the midfield, and she performed well. So can she repeat that today? We will see.
She's quite a comfortable player on the ball, so I think that's why Stephen Peters can trust her to sit in the 8, and he hasn't opted to drop Mel Caceres deeper. He'd rather her continue to be the creator that she has been, as the Lancaster now plays the ball forward for Fragale. And the first challenge that Maya Lobo makes. We did touch on that in the pre-game as well. Lobo and McComiskey, their combination at the back. They've held 10 of 13 clean sheets as Crofts here has APIA's first attempt, and that won't trouble Teresa Morrissey. But 10 clean sheets in 13 games is incredible.
Absolutely. To have a centre-back pairing like that leading your defence is great for Macarthur, because both of those players really strong in challenges and tackles in the air. Both of them are quite comfortable, and they're great passers of the ball. They can get attacks started from the centre-back, hitting their wingers, hitting Kelly Brown up top. So those two have just been great all season.
And the crowd is slowly building. It doesn't look as though there's that many there, but we can see them filing in, so there's definitely a crowd building here. The APIA crowd and Macarthur crowd were in full voice a couple of weeks ago, chanting at each other. Annabelle and I were at that game together. It was an excellent atmosphere at Lambert Park.
You barely had a second to think that game.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they'll try and repeat that today and be even better.
I feel a bit sorry for the people that are coming in late, because they've missed some action, already 1-0, and they'll be coming in going, what on earth has happened?
Here's Borazio now feeding in Crofts, and well defended by Lobo. Again, Borazio heads it down. Hoban trying to turn and wins the free kick. A free kick in a dangerous position, and APIA with their first opportunity to try and test Teresa Morrissey.
Charlotte Lancaster stepping out to take it, the left footer, who is really strong on set pieces. I think this is something Macarthur would have spoken about pre-game. Try not to give away free kicks. And they've done it here. Let's see if Teresa Morrissey and the rest of the Macarthur Rams defence is up to the task.
I've seen Lancaster on a couple of occasions whip him in from here and really cause problems for everyone. Let's see what she can do here now. Can APIA find themselves level from their first opportunity? Great ball in, and it is. It's in. I think it's gone off Mona Walker. If not, Charlotte Lancaster has found the back of the net, and APIA are level here. What a start to this game. 8 minutes in, a goal on either side. Fantastic football already.
It seems like it's going to be an absolute goal fest here. Already 1-1. It feels like both teams have scored on their first attacks almost, and it was a lovely strike from Charlotte Lancaster. Create a bit of indecision for Teresa Morrissey at the back. Does she come out and get it? Does she try and get it on the bounce? And really, she didn't get it at all. It went straight into the net.
Well, on first viewing, it looked like it took a bit of a deflection. Now watching the replay, it's still inconclusive. I thought that maybe Mona Walker had got her head on the end of that one, but she ran straight to Charlotte Lancaster. So I'd like to see the referee's report at the end of the game to see who that goal is gone down to.
Whether Mona Walker got the final touch or not, I think most of the credit there has to go to Charlotte Lancaster. What a delivery. And she scored in a similar fashion last week, but directly off of a corner. She's just phenomenal.
Now APIA coming forward to Neil Hay in attacking position. Great ball, and Mel Caceres. Well, she should have done better there, Caceres.
I thought we were about to go 2-1. I thought we were going to have 3 goals, my prediction exactly, but not within 90 minutes, within the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, incredible start here. And again, Mel Caceres just didn't quite connect with that ball as she would have liked. We're going to have to go pitch side soon again.
There's been plenty of action for Will to try and keep up with.
Well, we'll wait till this corner passes and then we might give him a call just to see how things are going from that. And that's directly almost in India Breyer, just like Charlotte Lancaster. I mentioned that in pre-game. 2 very good left feet. Both have perhaps the best left feet in the competition, and they've shown why they're so dangerous from set pieces.
Indy Breyer is a youngster, really on the rise. She played really well last year for the Macarthur Rams throughout the season and managed to get herself an A-League contract with Western Sydney. So that's the kind of thing that Macarthur can do.
Corner comes in, and again, testing there, but this time straight over the bar. It'll be a goal kick to APIA Leichhardt. Sally James will take the goal kick. And she's taken it early. He's young. And we've got Will Constantinides on the line. Will, what a start to this game. Sum it up for us. First 10 minutes, it's been absolute crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I can sum it up much better than that, guys. The atmosphere down here at pitchside, it's very different between the 2 benches. Over on the APIA bench, Brad Attard very vocal about wanting his side to win back possession, win that battle in midfield, and then over to the left of screen with Stephen Peters. He's a lot more composed, probably happy with how his side have started, but now they need to bounce back after conceding that equaliser.
Thank you very much, Will. We'll tune in with you later again once some more action happens. And it's been an action-packed opening 10 minutes so far. Who will get on the score sheet next? He's True again. Saved by James.
Obviously, the attacks for both teams have been going well, but how do their defence settle into the games? Because neither defence would be happy that they've conceded this early.
Lancaster heads that one on toward Crofts. Picked up by Hayward, and now one to chase. Neil Hay, the experienced right back for APIA Leichhardt. Sorry, for the Macarthur Rams. Scored the winning goal last week, an excellent finish with her left foot as well. So she's shown this year on a few occasions and last season that she can find the back of the net. How important has she been to Macarthur?
She is crucial to that side, not just for what she does on the field, but...
And Brown's almost through here after Indy Breyer tried to split the defence with an excellent ball in behind. But Sally James off her line and thwarting that danger. Sending this one along now. Sophie Hoban loses out there to Olivia Sloan. Borazio under pressure from Breyer. Young, that's a poor pass from Young. Taken full advantage of by Caceres now, and Estelle Fragale with an excellent challenge. Another corner for the Macarthur Rams, and on my count, I think that's number 4 now.
I think you might be right there, Nick, but it was great build-up play from Mel Caceres to win the corner. I think she's really enjoying the size of this pitch. She's able to burst into spaces with the ball. A bit easier than when they were playing at Lambert Park 2 weeks ago, much smaller field size there.
Kelly Brown will deliver the in-swinger again. Let's see what she can do and how much pressure she can put the APIA defence under. The ball comes in. Tennille Hay was there, but heads it wide. Again, they've defended these corners well so far, but you feel as though the height of McComiskey and Hay can really create some problems for APIA. Should one of those corners be delivered toward them?
Absolutely. And not just those two players, but you've got to dedicate so many defensive units towards managing them that sometimes other players can get free, as we saw last week with Suniga scoring off a header from a corner.
Here's Hayward now, twisting and turning, trying to get away from Caceres, does so. Plays it forward now toward Crofts, but Lobo saw that. And now Walker. Hay sends it forward. That'll be a battle there between those two. Charlotte Young and Kelly Brown. Tash Pryor as well, of course, because Brown will be floating between the two central defenders. How will they cope with her strength and her pace? We'll have to see. Here's Crofts over the top now for Walker. One to chase, but McComiskey back and clears away. Looking very dangerous with Mona Walker making those forward runs. APIA.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mona Walker's the link between the back line and the front line for APIA, and she's started well. She's crucial to them being able to transition the ball quickly and get those chances going forward.
Well, if you're one of the two coaches at the moment, who's the happier coach with the start after the first 15 minutes?
I think the way that APIA responded to going down quickly is a good sign for them. It's a testament to their character, and I think Brad Attard initially would have been very disappointed to concede that goal, but the way they've responded and got themselves back in the game means he'd be a bit happier than Stephen Peters, who would be disappointed that they aren't still defending a clean sheet.
He's True now in an attacking position again. She's obviously the one that they're trying to use the most here, as True gets beyond Haywood, but her cross a little bit too close to Sally James. I haven't really gone down Indy Breyer's side much in this opening 15 minutes. It's been more so down the right. They feel as though Paige Haywood may be the one they look to target.
Strong tackle there by Sloan. Seems like APIA are targeting her a little bit too.
Here's Caceres now driving forward, playing it out wide for True. A bit of space here, but Haywood quickly across to block it. It'll be another corner now for the Macarthur Rams. They're starting to pile up. 15 minutes in, 5 corners already.
How long can APIA hold out when they're put under this much pressure from the corner flag?
It'll be a change of corner taker, I thought, but Kelly Brown's making her way over again. That surprises me a little bit because Kelly Brown's got quite a bit of height on her. I'm surprised she's not in the box and she's taking the set pieces. Breyer pulls rank here. She'll be the one to deliver. Corner delivered into a great area. And it's bouncing about there. Hay had the chance. So did McComiskey, and it's in. It's 2-1. The captain, Madison McComiskey, lifts that one into the top corner, and the Macarthur Rams are back in front 17 minutes in.
You just felt like it was coming when they'd had that many corners and APIA hadn't been able to clear the ball on this one. Hay had a go, then McComiskey, and finally the captain puts it in the back of the net.
Well, you could see they really struggled to clear the first ball, did APIA Leichhardt. And it was Tennille Hay with the first attempt. It fell back on the bounce to McComiskey and the captain, making no mistake. And again, APIA need to respond. They need to show their character once more.
You said before which coach would be happier. I think I've changed my answer. Stephen Peters would be quite happy now that they're up once more.
Well, only within minutes, that is, as well. They're such a dangerous team all across the park. And again, here they go again through Breyer now. Cuts back on the right. Indy Breyer has a go with the right foot this time, but lifted that one a little too high. Just sending warning signs to the APIA defence and Sally James that, look, if I can do it on my left, I can do it on my right as well. Showing the danger she possesses.
Well, they've got to be careful because Indy Breyer has a phenomenal shot from distance. She's scored a number of wonder goals this season. So giving her that amount of time and space, even if it seems far out, she can make good things happen.
He's true. Loses out to Haywood, and it'll be another corner, I think. No, the last touch came off Mikko Sunaga. Sunaga waving her hands and not quite happy with the decision there. And APIA quickly restart. They not wasting any time on these restarts here as Pryor gets herself in a bit of trouble. And Haywood comes to save the day there. Macarthur could have been in a problem.
Just in time, Paige Haywood, Mel Caceres and Bronte True were both there. So Haywood was really strong in her defence there.
Hay has her cross blocked. Plays it back to Malone. Malone comfortable in the ball and in possession all the time. Always an outlet for the Rams, no matter what the situation. Never afraid to come and receive the ball and to play, as she did there.
And when Malone drops back a little bit and holds that defensive role, it allows players like Olivia Sloan to make those forward runs because it balances out the team.
Here's Sunaga. Used to seeing Sunaga in a more advanced position. She's been one of Macarthur's standout players this season, as she was last year. Her first season was probably one that just took a bit of time for her to get acclimatised to the football and the physicality of the NPL women's competition, but she really showed all her worth last year and done exactly the same again this year.
That often happens with players who've come from overseas. It takes them a second to get used to the way that football works here, the culture and the style of play, but Sunaga has definitely adjusted well and become a really crucial part of this Macarthur lineup coming from Japan. A couple of other international players coming into this game. Kelly Brown from New Zealand, also Charlotte Lancaster and Mona Walker from New Zealand for APIA, so it's great that the NPL New South Wales can attract players from overseas like that.
Here is McComiskey now, the goal scorer, playing at square for Lobo.
Lancaster with a ball back that wasn't really what Fragale would have liked, but she's able to control it and get it moving in the right direction for APIA.
They haven't really been able to use their wingers much at the moment, APIA, and they're their most dangerous players, but they just can't get the ball out there. And you can see on your screens now the Rams fans, there's quite a few of them building up in that Rams paddock, making their voices heard.
It's nice to see all the club getting behind it, junior players, other coaches and parents and things. It's a real celebration of not just what the first team has been able to achieve, but the whole club.
Sunaga unable to keep that one in, and now APIA with the throw.
As you mentioned, though, they haven't been able to unlock their wingers APIA as they would have liked, and I think that's playing into Macarthur's game plan a little bit.
Isabella Mosson there, the referee, in the middle, allowing play to continue there. Didn't see a foul. Well, Caceres stays down and the head plants into the ground. Poor pass there by Walker, just intercepted by Hay, who plays it out to allow Caceres to receive a bit of attention. And it was a strong challenge by Charlotte Young. I think it probably was a foul, but goes unpunished.
I was surprised there was no whistle there. It looked as though Mel Caceres flew. So, nonetheless, it is play on, and it's good to see her back up on her feet.
You can see Charlotte Young there, the camera just panning to her in the background, really trying to get up her team and trying just to step it up to another level. I'm not sure Lancaster will return the ball here. Brad Attard just giving her the instruction to give it back. Ashcroft's there, I think. She had a few people a little worried there. They thought that she might be going in to try and score on Morrissey.
She had warned Macarthur what she was doing, so that's why there was no defensive pressure coming, but the crowd didn't know.
Lobo there, late challenge from Connor Walker as Kelly Brown comes over the ball. And you saw the physicality there with the challenge again, this time from Charlotte Young on Brown. I really want her to know that she's in for a battle here today. Here she is again, finding True, but True in an offside position.
They're combining well, Macarthur, and they're pretty fluid in terms of their attack. Players don't always hold a set position. They can rotate in and out of spaces, as Kelly Brown did, dropping into almost a midfield role. Bronte True shifting into the middle. So they're a well-gelled team in that they can read what their teammates are up to and adjust.
Here is Charlotte Young now, playing her final game in football, taking a step back after this season. So she'll be wanting to go out on a bang. I mentioned earlier in the pre-game I walked into the APIA change room to try and get some pre-match information, and I saw her giving a speech to her teammates, a well-written speech, just telling them all how deeply thankful she was to her teammates and for all the support they've given her over the years.
She's been really strong all year for APIA as their captain.
And I think not just as the captain of this first grade squad, but as the club captain. And you can see when the young girls come to support from the SAP team, she's always the first one to run over to them, to celebrate goals with them, to celebrate victories with them. She wants them to feel as though they're really a part of the first grade and a part of the football club. And I feel like that's something that APIA has done extremely well since getting promoted and coming into the NPL space. They've really lifted their standards and send a message to the rest of the league. This is how things should be done and how things should be improved.
Absolutely. The culture among the whole club at APIA is one that everyone else in the league should be looking to try and replicate.
Lancaster now, she just had so much more space there. She didn't take advantage of it. It was about 10-15 metres in front of her that she could have moved into, but decided to deliver that ball towards Sophie Hoban. As we see, Darcy Malone struggling a little bit, and this would be a major blow if Darcy Malone isn't able to continue, and Bronte True's down as well. So Macarthur really struggling at the moment. We saw Caceres go down after the challenge from Charlotte Young, and now Bronte True and Darcy Malone have both gone down as well.
True tried to stand up and couldn't. She went back down. It looks to be something, maybe an ankle, but yeah, this is concerning. Good to see Malone's back up walking around. She seems to be all right, but True's needing some medical attention.
She looks like she's in a lot of pain as well. As you can see on the screen there, not a very good sight for Stephen Peters at all. It's either the ankle or the knee. Not quite sure when it happened, but seeing a replay of the first goal, and Tanya Borazio will be so disappointed with her clearance there. Should have been a little bit better. And then APIA responded. Charlotte Lancaster delivering. Just looking at that highlight, I feel like it may have nicked Mona Walker on the way in.
Scraped the ponytail.
The ponytail was the difference there, but still Macarthur again hit back, took the lead once more, and now they lead here after almost 30 minutes of football.
Good to see True back into things now.
All over the top should be easy for Morrissey, who has been one of those old-fashioned sweeper keepers, done an excellent job of that throughout the season, and were never caught upon, especially with those balls in between the defence and the box. She seems to always be there to clear away.
Her tackling technique is really phenomenal as a goalkeeper. The way she slides down, smothers the ball, sends it out over the sideline so she's got time to get back. It was on full show last week versus Sydney Olympic. APIA haven't been able to test her outside the box yet, but I imagine Morrissey will be up to the task.
Strong challenge, no foul there. The referee has pulled play back because of the collision with Crofts and Sunaga, but didn't call it back for the foul. And it wasn't a foul. It was a good call by Isabella Mosson not to blow the whistle for the free kick, but had to call it for Sunaga to get attention. And it did seem quite a heavy knock for Sunaga. But again,
Sunaga was the smaller of the two in that challenge. Definitely came off second best. She seems to have hit her head. I'm not sure if it was in the actual challenge or as she hit the ground that the head injury
well,
may
in all
have
honesty,
occurred.
I think that the lucky one out of this whole scenario is Maya Lobo, because she flew into that challenge, studs raised, and luckily for her, it didn't connect with the teammate, because it could have been an early shower for Lobo.
That could have been very dramatic scenes here.
There you see it again. She was quite far away, but Krista Dooley immediately lifted her hand, and there you see the heavy head knock there on Sunaga. She makes her way off the park.
Macarthur do actually have the player who's had the most red cards this season, but that is Bethany Gordon, who's on the sideline. She's had 2 this year.
Well, no stress for Gordon, because she can't get a third in the stands, and I'm sure she'd much rather be on the field. It was such a shame to see the Rams lose her. I think if Gordon was playing today, that there'd be no question who the winner would be. But with Gordon missing, it's just opened up a little bit of an opportunity for APIA to perhaps surprise and level the playing field just a little bit.
Yeah, Bethany Gordon was really strong when they played each other 2 weeks ago, so her loss is already being felt by Macarthur today.
Foul there by Fragale in midfield on Mel Caceres, who's beating the walls early. And again, you can see that's where APIA's trying to win the game. It's the midfield. That's where the battle is won and lost. I said it previously. As Walker comes away with the ball. Back for Borazio. Now Hoban. Been very quiet, Sophie Hoban. Fragale loses out there. Strong challenge from Caceres. And now Breyer. Trying to beat Borazio, but no foul. Good call again from the referee from my point of view. Cross comes in toward the box. Tanil Hay heads away. Well, come again here, APIA. First time they've had a bit of possession, Hoban. Great challenge. Well, not quite. The referee blows the whistle. And it's another opportunity for Lancaster to deliver from another dangerous position.
Similar area to where that first goal happened. A little bit wider and a little bit closer to goal for Charlotte Lancaster's first free kick. But this is a dangerous predicament that Macarthur find themselves in.
Well, I actually thought it was a good tackle from Olivia Sloan, but the referee disagreed.
I was a little bit surprised too. I didn't see a foul in that one, but sometimes when a player goes to ground, they can get the call.
And APIA lining up in a similar fashion to how they did when the first goal was scored. What they do here, ball comes in toward Walker, who's all alone. And she's just turned the wrong way. They're unable to get her body the other way.
Sloan made up for that mistake in giving away the free kick with that clearance.
Caceres now turns away. Here's Lobo. Playing the ball forward.
Good ball forward for True.
And Pryor deals with that comfortably. Now Haywood plays it upfield. Only to Maya Lobo. Here's McComiskey. Keeping possession now, the Rams. They'd love to go into half-time a goal to the good. Malone, who's recovered from her knock, and looks as though all the Rams players have recovered from their little knocks they'd received, and it was in quick succession. And Paige Haywood there with a pretty bad error opens up the space again for Macarthur to test APIA again from the corner. And again, Kelly Brown's moving over to take this one. I don't think she should be the one delivering this. This has to be an Indy Breyer corner from my point of view.
Well, they've done this sort of short corner routine recently where Breyer or Brown, one of them will take it and the other one will dribble it in towards the box. So maybe that's what they're setting up for. But no, Breyer looks to have waved Brown away. Will she give her time to get into the box to make an impact?
Just on those short corners, they've been really good for the Rams. They've caused a lot of issues. But here's that ball to the near post again. And it's exactly the same way Sunaga scored against Sydney Olympic last weekend. ball into the near post, the perfect ball, it has to be said. And Sunaga, one of the shortest players, if not the shortest player on the field, getting ahead to another ball.
It was down low though, so maybe it helped her able to dive low for that header. But Ashley Croft's defence on the line.
Again, ball into toward the back post. McComiskey won the initial header. Now Lobo trying to get it away on the volley. Some desperate defending now from APIA. Tennille Hay forced back, and that ball might be short. Sloan had to make sure she got there, because I tell you what, Sophie Hoban was trying to pinch that ball and launch a counter-attack for APIA Leichhardt.
Poor pass there from Tennille Hay. This surface is a bit different to what these teams are used to. Both of them have synthetic home grounds, but that's no excuse for a slow pass like that.
Well, look, it is. I mean, we're being super critical here now. The pitch is absolutely perfect, but it does play a little slow. It wasn't watered pre-game, so it is just a little bit slow, which means the team needs to pass the ball a little bit. Well, the players need to pass the ball a little bit harder. But definitely, if there was a little bit of water on the pitch, it'd help both teams out, no doubt.
And Hay is a player with the kind of experience where she should be able to adjust to the surface and understand that a longer grass field means you need a firmer pass.
Here's Fragale now on the turn. Pryor. And it hasn't been until the last 5 or so minutes. APIA's finally started to play the ball around. They haven't been able to do so and connect more than 3 or 4 passes, but it seems as though the last couple of moments they have.
Yeah, they're able to unlock the space on this pitch, and it's a big field. So if they're composed, if they're calm, and they string some passes together, there's plenty of space, plenty of room to get forward.
Well, we might just go back down to our pitch side commentator, Will Constantinides, and find out if there are anything else we should know and how the teams are travelling now. What's the feeling like on the bench for these two teams, with Macarthur having taken the lead again?
Yeah, guys, still much of the same, really. Stephen Peters still the calmer and the happier of the two coaches. He made some interesting comments towards his back four just a few minutes ago. He wanted Maya Lobo to actually try and draw the APIA players in. We know that APIA have been pressing, so look for the Rams to try and draw APIA in and then expose them out wide as APIA push a bit too far forward on the press.
And how about the injuries? We saw a couple APIA players go down with injuries. Did they seem serious, or they just brushed them off?
Yeah, Bronte True, she probably looked the worst of the bunch. She was in a lot of pain. I wasn't sure if she was going to be all right to come back on, but she seemed like she was all right. We know how important her being fit is to the Rams. Her athleticism on the wing is key for them. Miku Sinaga, she looked all right. It was just a bit of a head knock, and as mentioned in commentary by you guys, they're a bit tight in midfield depth, so they also need her out there.
Thanks, Will. We'll tune in with Will again a little bit later, but that's our pitch-side commentator, Will Constantinides. He's done a fabulous job this season as well, as have you, Annabelle, on the mic, and it's been an excellent season of coverage, and it'll only get better in the NPL New South Wales women's space.
Don't sell yourself short, Nick. You've been doing well match of the round each week.
Mystic Nick's got a couple too many wrong this year for my liking, but something to improve on most definitely in 2025.
Interesting to note, Bronte True and Indy Breyer have just switched sides.
And here is True in possession immediately, getting beyond Borazio with ease. True, but couldn't get much purchase on that effort. Sally Brown comfortably claims that, and maybe it's the opportunity now to cut in on their favoured foot and try and whip one into the far corner.
Well, Indy Breyer had been having success cutting in on Borazio, but that means she has to use her right foot, so this might work better for both players.
And here's APIA now with a chance to go forward, but Lancaster just unable to get herself in the game, and all we've seen of her from now is her set piece, which has been phenomenal, but in-game play hasn't been there right now.
She scored that one goal, but apart from that, hasn't really been able to insert herself, so she'll be hoping to have a bit of a better second half, and not that we're done with the first half yet.
Great football there from the Macarthur Rams, just playing out of the press, and as Will mentioned, they are drawing in the APIA players now, and then comfortably playing through them, and it's what we said about Darcy Malone, just so comfortable in possession, not afraid to get on the ball, not afraid to draw the defenders in to allow more space for her teammates, This time, though, Sophie Hoban now doing that, and here she goes going forward. Walker. Now an opportunity for Lancaster to deliver with that left foot. Good ball in. It's a great ball. Somehow, Morrissey gets a real important fist to that. That was a good chance.
Save.
A good chance there for APIA. And that's what they need Lancaster doing. They need her getting down that line, delivering the ball into the box, and creating havoc in the Macarthur defence.
That's the sort of impact that APIA would have liked to see earlier from Lancaster, but it's great to have it now. Getting beyond Hay, able to make those dangerous crosses.
Just looking at the replay, had Morrissey not got the touch in there, that ball was going to fall right into the path of Sophie Hoban. But again, good goalkeeping. Here is Hoban. Good touch out there for Borazio, who's made a forward run into the area now. Tanya Borazio tries to cut it across, wins a corner. I think this is the first corner of the afternoon for APIA, and it's taken all of 40 minutes.
Bit different to how Macarthur's been going with their corners. But,
and again, they have a lot of threat going forward. They have Charlotte Young, they've got Tash Pryor, of course, who's probably the most dangerous. And you can't look past Ashcroft's with the delivery of Charlotte Lancaster.
or Lancaster could just do it herself like she did last week against the Stingrays.
There's the potential for that too. This one's central though, and how about that from Morrissey?
Great goalkeeping to come out that far.
Almost at the penalty spot. An excellent claim from Teresa Morrissey. Such a confident goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, she's a great leader at the back because she stays calm and keeps the rest of her back line the same way, especially players like Olivia Sloan, who aren't as experienced. Maya Lobo is a bit more experienced now, but last year, not as much. So Teresa Morrissey's been, and McComiskey as well, the two of them, a really great calming force on the rest of the Rams backline.
Here's a free kick now for APIA. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, and some first half it was, in particular those opening 17 minutes, we had 3 goals. The Rams, if you're joining in late, took the lead via Kelly Brown. There's an equaliser for APIA. I reckon he hit the ponytail of Mona Walker, but it was Charlotte Lancaster's free kick into the box that caused problems. And now True will try and make it 3-1, but good scrambling defence from APIA.
Lucky Christodoulou was there because Baratia was caught out then. She was wide of her player.
Here's Angelique Christodoulou, arrived this year at APIA Leichhardt from Sydney Olympic, captained Olympic and spent many years there.
Her father also played for the club. I got the chance to speak to Christodoulou last year and she was raving about her connection to the club, so I was a bit surprised to see her in APIA colours this year.
My dad did coach at Olympic as well, and I believe he may still be coaching there. Some good football here from APIA Lancaster. That's the run you want from her. The wrong ball, though. Still might work out here for Hoban. Morrissey's come far out and clears that out, but I feel like that was a really good opportunity for APIA. Had Lancaster just fed in Ashcroft's there.
Yeah, might not have been the best decision by Lancaster, but that ball, the technique to make it look like it's going all the way to Morrissey and then it pulls away, and she was almost caught out of position there, Teresa Morrissey.
It gives APIA another opportunity from another corner, and it allows Lancaster to use that left foot again, and hopefully for the APIA Leichhardt faithful, bring them level once more here. What a time it would be to score as well right before half time as Lancaster delivers this one into the box. It's a really in-swinging one again toward goal, and Ashcroft, the ball just was a little too high for her to swing at, but Lancaster goes direct again.
And that ball tested Morrissey. She wasn't able to claim it like the last corner. She had to pat it away right into Croft's path, so good delivery from Lancaster.
And Hoban did her job standing right in front of the goalkeeper, making it difficult for her. But Morrissey, as she has so many times this season, got her fist to that ball. Didn't allow APIA to get a proper opportunity away as Lancaster started to come into the game now. Crofts just wasn't sure what side that pass was coming from, and it doesn't matter at the moment that Lancaster's passes aren't finding their target. The most important thing is that she's getting involved, because she wasn't for about 35 minutes of this game and has started to now.
Yeah, getting that confidence up, and I think Lancaster and Crofts, the two of them combining, is where APIA can level this game, because the deliveries from Lancaster, the finishing quality of Crofts, they just need to keep working down this left-hand side because they're starting to get some success.
And now Christodoulou will deliver. She goes short here. Untracked is Lancaster. Crofts were there with the flick, but I feel like Lancaster could have even had a shot there had she taken a touch. She had so much time.
I'm surprised she didn't go for the shot herself. That right side of the net, that right post, swinging it in there, that's what I thought would happen.
Characteristic loss of discipline as well, as Crofts tries to flick it back again. And Caceres this time clears. For me, the most surprising thing there was the Rams' discipline from that corner. They were really caught out there. Just a simple pass to Lancaster. Nobody tracked her at all, and I think Stephen Peters there on the sideline was just letting his players know that's not good enough. And it's got to be better, otherwise teams like APIA will take advantage. They will punish you.
Normally such a disciplined team, knowing their defensive roles, Macarthur, it was a little bit strange to see Lancaster have that much time on the edge of the box.
Christodoulou picks up the loose ball in midfield. Now Hoban can't hit it from here, but feeds in. Ash Crofts, and a great save again from Morrissey. Ash Crofts has stayed down somewhat, but Morrissey made 3 or 4 of those ones last week against Olympic, and in the action again, getting down now quickly and getting low as quick as she could, blocking the opportunity for APIA and Crofts.
The way that Morrissey makes those sliding saves is unmatched in this league. I believe she's really phenomenal at making those saves where you just don't know how she does it.
Here's Caceres now with the effort, but sends that one well over the bar. Bronte True creating problems back out on the right again. And Ash Crofts looks to be struggling a little bit. We know she had a rib injury. Affected her lung as well. She missed a number of matches because of it. We're into stoppage time now. I think the referee said there's 3 minutes. Here's Brown. Looking to deliver into the box. Cuts it onto the left, back on the right. Twisting and turning. Fragale. Dangerous challenge from Fragale. If she got that wrong, could have been in trouble. And Darcy Malone back to do some good defending for the Rams. Here is Olivia Sloan. They come away with the ball here. APIA Leichhardt. I sort of feel they might be happy going into the break now at 2-1. Gives Brad Attard the opportunity to perhaps change things around. On the bench, they've got some attacking options as well in Brinley Gentle. Arrived from the emerging Jet, scored so many goals there, but found it a bit tough at APIA this year. They've got Zoe Panagopoulos as well, the youngster, and Gisela Pipino, of course. So they're the attacking options on the bench. If he needs to go to them, there's definitely something there.
Yeah, plenty of quality on that bench. As you mentioned, Brinley Gentle. She's found the transition to APIA a little bit challenging in terms of breaking into this starting first team side, but she's been strong through for their reserve grade all year, scoring plenty of goals down there. At one point last year, she was challenging for the Golden Boot, despite being with the bottom place team in the emerging Jets, so just shows you how lethal she is in front of goal.
This may be the last opportunity for APIA to create something. Borazio taking the ball forward, waited for the run from Lancaster, never really came.
Baraya is still down. She is rolling around on the field over near the sideline. She looks to be in a world of pain.
I don't think... Well, it's Indy Bryant, not Bronte True, sorry. I thought it was True again, but if that's Indy Bryant, it's another issue for Stephen Peters to deal with. She still hasn't got up either. APIA doesn't have to kick this ball out. They can keep playing. And here is the space now for Hoban as she drives forward. Tried to find Crofts, falls for her again anyway. Ball out to Lancaster on the right and didn't take a deflection. It'll be a goal kick. I think Indy Breyer is still in trouble on the far side.
She's back down. I'm not sure what she's done, but looks to be incredibly painful for the youngster. Referee's finally gone out to check on it.
And credit to the referee for not stopping play, because we've seen so many times that referees stop the game when it's not required. In this situation, Isabella Mawson let the ball play until it went out of play, and now Indy Breyer can receive the attention required. There was no need to stop the APIA attack. It wasn't a head injury, so credit to the referee there. And we'll see if Breyer can continue. She's in tears, so it doesn't look good for the Macarthur Rams at the moment.
Who will they turn to if Breyer can't continue here, do you think, Nick?
It's tough because their bench is quite defensive. They have got a lot of defensive players on their bench. What could happen is perhaps Chloe Gordon could come on into midfield. They could push Mikkel Sunaga back out wide. Maybe Lola Sosai comes in and plays a more attacking role.
Well,
she can do that too.
Quite an attacking wing back, so she could be the kind of winger that's a bit more defensive. So I think that's a possibility, especially with them already being up 2-1. It's not.
Well, exactly that. They don't have to chase the win. They've got the lead, so maybe putting Sosai on would be the perfect scenario for Stephen Peters if needed. Let's see what they do. Breyer's back on now, but how long will she last? Running very gingerly out there too. She's got a yellow card because she came on without the referee's approval, and she's told to go back off now until she's told to come back on.
Luckily, Bry's not the kind of player who usually picks up yellow cards, so it's not like she'll have to change her style of play to adjust for that, but you do have to be a little bit careful in terms of the challenges you're making now that you're on a yellow.
Here's Caceres. Back for Malone. And they'll just keep possession here to the end of the game. We're into the 6th minute of stoppage time. And now Breyer allowed to return to the field. Here's Sunaga. Zidon. Young will see this one out. And that should just about be that, I'd say. I can't imagine any more time being added on. A very exciting first half of football. And that is the halftime whistle. The Macarthur Rams lead in the 2024 Grand Final at Combank Stadium by 2-1 against APIA Leichhardt. It was the Rams that opened the scoring in spectacular fashion, not because of the goal, but because how early it came. APIA responded. They equalised from a free kick of their own only after 9 minutes, only for the Rams to go ahead again a few minutes after that. So, Annabelle, how do you sum up that first 45 minutes?
I think it was certainly at the beginning all attack. Neither defence really settled into the game, and that showed with the scoreboard. But as things progressed, it became more of that midfield battle that we predicted, and both teams settled in defensively and were able to make some big challenges when needed. I think that Macarthur have looked stronger so far, but the last 5-10 minutes, APIA have managed to unlock Charlotte Lancaster's potential, and it's become a little bit more of an even contest, so lots to play for in this second half.
Well, I expect APIA to really come out in the second half and give this one a real go, because they're down at the moment. It's the last game of the season, and they've got to put it all out there and leave it all out there. Join us back here again in 15 minutes for the second half. At the moment, the Macarthur Rams lead APIA Leichhardt in the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final by 2-1. And the players slowly re-emerge for the second half here at Combank Stadium. APIA out first. The Rams yet to show up though, so perhaps Brad Attard's word at halftime may have snapped his team into action here a little earlier, and I'm sure they'll be keen to start this half as best they can. They didn't start the first half the best they could. They went down after 2 minutes. They did recover well though, scoring to make it 1-1 through Charlotte Lancaster, and then they scored. Macarthur took the lead again less than 10 minutes after the equaliser. So the Rams lead after the first 45 minutes here by 2-1 against APIA. Annabelle, what does APIA need to do to get back in this game in the second half? I mean, they're still in it, but what do they need to do to win it?
They need to start strong. As you mentioned, they did not start the first half strong, conceding so early. They need to make sure they're switched on as soon as this whistle goes, because Macarthur have the kickoff. You don't want to see them run the full length and put one in the net straight away like they did in the first half. So APIA just need to switch on. They need to be able to control the ball as well. They looked strongest when they held onto the ball for a little period of time rather than rushing it straight up. So I think using their midfield, being able to control the ball and work it down the field in a more organised manner will help APIA have a strong second half.
We saw the Rams have a few players go down just before half-time. We saw Malone go down, Sonaga, True, Breyer. They all went down, but they're all back out here in the second half. So that's got to be encouraging for Stephen Peters. His side has managed to keep things going the way they expected with the starting 11 they have. Obviously, Beth Gordon, a major loss, but those four that would have hurt them had they lost them, they'll be very happy to have them back on the park.
Early foul given there by Melchiseris, but yeah, absolutely. I think it would have been a different game if one of those key attacking players had to go off early, because as you mentioned, we were speaking at halftime, they're a little bit light on attacking substitutes, just with Bethany Gordon injured and other players. You know, Stephen Peters has opted for a quite defensive mindset in terms of his substitution choices. So it's really great that all players are fit and ready to go for this second half.
Well, APIA haven't made any changes at the break, but I've got a feeling that we may see Angelique Christodoulou be the first one to be substituted. It's generally the first substitution Brad Attard goes to. I feel like Christodoulou might come off, Hoban may slot into the middle as the 10, and Gisela Pipino comes out wide. That's my inkling. That's what generally happens. So it would be an attacking substitution. Obviously, more attack-minded is Hoban than Christodoulou in that midfield, and Pipino can definitely offer something in the front third.
Yeah, and Christodoulou's been strong defensively, but she's had less impact on the game than the other two midfielders for APIA, so it would be the one that makes the most sense in my mind too.
Here's Lancaster that definitely needs to get more involved, and with the ball in more attacking position, she did so toward the end of the half, but her delivery and her final pass weren't quite at her level.
Macarthur have to watch Crofts dropping in.
Here's Crofts now trying to feed the ball for Walker. It's a poor pass, and Hoban just couldn't get the ball out of her feet. It was a tough one for her to really get away, but not good enough from Sophia Hoban. More expected from her in that sort of an area.
Definitely, she didn't hit that with enough pace, enough sting on the ball there. So she'll want to have that one over again to do a bit better for her side.
Here is Sally James now.
You can see just behind the goal, Lola Sosai starting her warm-up for the Rams. So interesting to see where she comes on. The last couple of weeks, she's been swapped for Olivia Sloan, playing left back. But Breyer stayed down a long time, injured in the first half. Maybe she comes off. Not sure who's...
Here's Walker now, really involved already. Good ball in toward Crofts. Might get to Lancaster. Doesn't, well defended though by Tennille Hay. Had to deal with that ball. It was an excellent cross. Those are so tough to defend when you're running the opposite direction. And almost a handball there off McComiskey. And a good start from APIA in this second half. Much better. Really putting the Rams under some pressure. He's Young now. They restart the attack again. Christodoulou. Central pass toward Hoban, well defended by Sloan. Borazio delivers into the area. Sunaga heads away, but only as far as Fragale. APIA really trying to put their foot down early, and look at the battle there between Malone and Fragale. The free kick going the way of APIA. That one sent toward Hoban, who goes down after the challenge. McComiskey scored a lovely goal, Madison McComiskey, which for now is the winning goal. And how about this start from APIA?
They've come out for this second half, definitely looking the better of the two sides. They've shown a real ability to connect with each other, really.
And the intent, there's a lot more intent than the
absolutely.
first half. And
a bit more energy.
I think that's the difference. And now Lancaster gets the opportunity to deliver from the corner. We saw the problems she created in the first half from the corner kick. And if she can do it again, it's an in-swinger as well. Obviously, Hoban will go stand in front of Morrissey once more to make it tough for the keeper. And I expect the ball to be travelling in that direction toward the Macarthur Rams goalkeeper. Let's see now what Lancaster can do. It's a training ground move, change of angle here. Lancaster delivers, good ball at the headers there, and it's a goal. Tash Pryor finds the equaliser. A wonderful goal from APIA Leichhardt. They've caught the Rams unaware again from a short corner. They weren't ready for it. The change of angle worked in the favour of the team that finished second this season, and they're level here at Combank Stadium after 50 minutes. It was coming. It was a great start to the half.
Great start to the second half. They, as you said, showed a lot of intent. The energy was there, and Macarthur almost seemed a bit asleep at the wheel for that corner. It was taken quickly, it was taken short, and nobody went out there to put much pressure on Charlotte Lancaster. So I think Macarthur needs to wake up a little bit.
Again, it was just, we spoke about how well they came out of the blocks. Lots of intent, lots of energy, and it's all come to fruition for them after 5 minutes in the second period. Again, though, we saw a corner in the first half. The Premiers didn't really follow the run of Lancaster. They didn't follow this one either. There was a short ball played. No one went out with a runner. No one went out to cross the ball. Sorry, to block the cross from Lancaster. And it was a free header for Pryor in the end.
And Pryor is a very aerially gifted player. She's a tall player, confident, strong with her headers, and it all showed there.
Well, we mentioned it earlier. The likes of Pryor and Young are so dangerous when the ball's whipped into the box, and we'll see what they can do now. We'll soon cross over to Will Constantinidis as well. We might cross over to him now because he's got some information for us. Will, fill us into what you see down on the sideline now.
Yeah, guys, immediately after APIA scored that equaliser, Stephen Peters immediately looked to his bench. It looks like there might be a double sub coming in the next few minutes. He's got talking to a few different players at the moment, so we'll see how that pans out. As for both coaches, I'll leave you with this one, guys, as they're on the attack. We'll come back to me in a bit and a quick chat to both coaches after the break.
Sounds good. And we'll join Will again soon, but how about this? It's almost a different APIA team in this second period, and I mean, looking at Stephen Peters, he's pacing up and down the sideline. He's not very happy with how his team is performing at the moment, and that's why the double change. And here's another opportunity, another chance for Charlotte Lancaster to use that left foot to her advantage. And we spoke about Lancaster. It looks like it's Sosai, and Chloe Gordon that'll come on, but we spoke about Lancaster not being as involved as she should. Still, her deliveries were always dangerous. And again, now she's in the second half really grown into what we expected of her in the first. The delivery's there. She's getting more involved and now has the chance to, well, I guess, score her second. They've given her the first, so.
Yeah, interesting here. I imagine she'll go from goal from this sort of range, but it's a little bit wide. It's a little bit outside the box, whether she crosses or shoots.
Delivery in, and no one made the run to the far post, so a wasted opportunity there. That'll be disappointing for Brad Attard. He would have expected his team to perhaps put the Rams under a bit of pressure with that free kick. They really didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right decision there from Lancaster.
But here's Hoban now.
Steals in here. Sophie Hoban on the left, and it's a poor effort. Could have played the reverse pass to Angelique Christodoulou. What an opportunity for APIA Leichhardt again.
Putting it at, catching height for Teresa Morrissey was a little bit too easy there. I think she had to make that more difficult for the Rams goalkeeper.
And Hoban again, they're stealing in. It's not the first time now. It's really all APIA at the moment. The Rams are struggling to get themselves going. And
here comes the substitution.
Stephen Peters is called for the sub. It'll be Chloe Gordon and Lola Sosai coming off Indy Breyer and Olivia Sloan. So changes to the whole left side here for Stephen Peters, and that's where the danger's been coming from, down Sophie Hoban's side. Sosai, a very much more physical player than Olivia Sloan is. So how will this change the dynamic of what happens here?
I think Sosai will have felt a little bit hard done by that she didn't start, and she'll really want to prove herself as a strong left back contender here today. She's definitely more physical, as you've mentioned. She'll have to watch though, because sometimes that can lead to fouls and cards and things, and APIA have been dangerous from the set piece, so that's something she'll need to watch out for.
Here's Caceres now, and the substitution of Chloe Gordon, as we said, will move her into midfield. It pushes Miku Sunaga back to where she's a little bit more comfortable in a more advanced position.
And it makes the midfield a little bit more defensive, which they clearly need some help in the defence, having just conceded a goal. Miku Sunaga is a much more attacking player, a natural winger, so putting Chloe Gordon in might just balance out that midfield three a bit more.
Well, let's go back to Will Constantinides. He spoke to both coaches, and Will, what they have to say?
Yeah, I spoke to Brad Attard first. He was key. He was keying in on winning the moments and wanting his side to be braver and linking up with each other in midfield. And I think in terms of winning the moments, it doesn't get much better than getting an equaliser right out of the halftime break. He'd be ecstatic with that. As for Stephen Peters and the Rams, he said that he was a bit upset as to how they got away from playing their type of game as the half went on. He wants them to get back to playing their kind of football. As for the knocks to a few of their players, the likes of Breyer and Sunaga, he said they're all good and they're made of tough stuff.
And Morrissey there spills the ball. Thank you, Will, for that. And it's an immediate call here from the referee for the medical staff to come out.
And that was an off-the-ball challenge there. It hasn't been awarded a free kick. I was worried that there might be a penalty called here.
Just watching the highlight there, and it was Lola Sosai that put the challenge in. And you're right there, Annabelle, well spotted. The foul was definitely off the ball on Mona Walker. And a clear push there. It's the second attempt there. Morrissey accidentally hitting into the back of the head of Walker, who's shrugged that off and got back to her feet. But I'll tell you what, Lola Sosai is very, very lucky that Isabella Mosson hasn't pointed to the spot, because there was a clear and obvious push in the back of Mona Walker.
Doing that in the box is risky behaviour from Sosai, and she's very lucky to have got away with that one.
And I understand as well, as a substitute, it's always hard coming into the game, especially as a defender. But coming in cold and not used to the pace of the game yet, maybe that's a bit of an excuse. But still, you've got to be a little bit more intelligent in those moments and understand the position you are in on the field.
Yeah, and you've got to trust your keeper. Sosai's a little bit shorter than Walker in terms of that matchup with the ball coming in, but that doesn't mean you can just foul people in the box.
Here's Chloe Gordon with her first touch. It's a good ball out wide for True, who's got the pace to beat Haywood. And the skill as well, but the left foot not so much, almost falling into the path of Miku Sunaga, who's gone down now as well, but I didn't see a foul in that one. Both players slowly make their way back to their feet.
But that's a positive sign for Macarthur. That's the first real attacking opportunity they've had this second half. Quick transition, lovely play out wide to Bronte True. And a good impact made by Chloe Gordon, the substitute there, to get that play going.
So definitely game on in this second period. APIA have shown their quality. It's what I've been asking for of them the last two fixtures they've played against their opponent, because against this opponent they haven't really come to the battle. Remember, both these two games in the season finished 2-1 for the away team on both occasions. So APIA won at Linwood Park, and Macarthur only a couple of weeks ago won at Lambert. So it's the away team that's proved the bets on the two occasions. They're both playing at a neutral venue here today, so we can't take that into consideration.
They both like spoiling a party, I guess, but there's plenty in the crowd supporting both sides, so you can't really say one's got the upper hand over the other in terms of support.
Here's Kelly Brown now. Haven't seen much of her at all since the second minute of the game, and Angelique Christodoulou doing a good job getting back and defending, and Haywood helping out now.
Two
strong challenge from Brown, and the foul goes against the striker. Kick the ball away as well. Needs to be careful. Little moments like that lead into yellow cards, and we know that Kelly Brown's a very physical player. She doesn't generally get red cards, but you don't want to give yourself a unnecessary yellow card, especially when you play the way that she does.
She copped a yellow card last week in the semi-final against Sydney Olympic and was substituted pretty quickly after that. Stephen Peters did not want to risk her having to be suspended today.
I don't see Stephen Peters taking her off anytime soon, in particular with the players that he has on the bench. As we said, quite a defensively minded bench at the moment for Macarthur. Already the two changes made. A few tactical swaps as well, so he's true now into the area. Well defended by Estelle Fragale. True creating havoc. Here's Hay with the ball into the box. Sunaga heads it down. Played up and into the sky, really. There's a nothing clearance. Pryor now clears it away. Hay will come back again. Neither team able to get control of the ball now, and
yeah, a little bit scrappy, that patch of play. Hoban's brought it down for now.
And Hoban now looking for a pass, but there was no real option for her. Sauce with an excellent challenge. That's more like Lola Sauce. Been one of the standouts for Macarthur prior to the A-League women's players joining the competition. Was excellent. Saw her in the team of the week on a number of occasions as well. So lost her spot in the squad a couple of weeks ago due to injury, and has had to now wait for her opportunity. Olivia Sloan slotted in at left back and did a really good job.
Well, the two started the year as the wing-back options for the Rams, and they performed well, but when you've got the quality coming in from the A-Leagues, you've got to find room for them on the field.
Here's True back for Hay, who wanted to deliver that first time, but the pass was played just a little bit too far behind her. Chloe Gordon, central ball to Darcy Malone. APIA fans making a little bit of noise out there. We might cross back to Will, actually, to find out how the atmosphere is from pitch side. Will, what's the atmosphere like out there?
Honestly, guys, it's very nervy down here. The game is hanging by a balance. You get the sense that the next 10-15 minutes could be key at 2-all. APIA still vocal. The referees just came and had a bit of a warning chat to Brad Attard and his assistants just a moment ago.
And here's Crofts, goes for the early effort. Ash Crofts, wasn't that close there. Tried to catch Teresa Morris-Yoff. And while we still got you, Will, tell us about the crowd. They seem like they're getting a little louder too.
Yeah, they're coming into the game sensing that both their teams need their support. You can hear APIA, they're getting nice and loud now, and it's definitely APIA that might have the slight edge of momentum, being the side that scored most recently, but the Rams, we know all about their quality, do not count them out about going down the other end and scoring.
Great job by the cameramen to applause there. They knew when to turn to the crowd and to show us just how they're getting their voices heard, so an excellent atmosphere building on the pitch now. It really makes for an intriguing finish. We've still got almost 30 minutes to go. And what a final we've been treated to. Usually they're cagey affairs, minimal goals, and now Hoban trying to feed in Crofts. Crofts gets it on the right. Ash Crofts has a go. It's two opportunities in quick succession for Ash Crofts. She's getting involved now.
Yeah, and that strike she did before, it dipped, but it dipped just a bit too late. She scored a lovely goal like that earlier in the season at Leichhardt Oval. She can create magic like that. She is a phenomenal player. Last year's Golden Boot and Player of the Season. Struggled a bit with injuries this year, so not quite as many individual accolades. But
nonetheless, she can be the hero for APIA this afternoon.
Here's Fragale now under a little bit of pressure and wins the free kick there. I'm not sure if Lancaster might think about delivering this into the box. She's coming across, so most certainly thinking about it, but the tall timber hasn't gone forward. I think he's telling Tash Pryor to go up now, and he is. Charlotte Young will stay. Keep Kelly Brown company here. He's the lone player staying forward for the Macarthur Rams.
Mona Walker's got her hand in the air, but she's just dropped back now into an onside position.
Ball comes in now. Great header from Madison McComiskey. And too strong there, Mel Caceres on Angelique Christodoulou. But who's there? Estelle Fragale, always picking up the scraps. Now driving into the space. Well spotted by Fragale, but lost her footing there. The crucial moment. Here's Brown.
She needs a bit of support, Brown. She was all on her own.
And I think that's credit to APIA. They've really pushed the Rams back now. They're sitting a little deeper, everyone from the midfielders to the wingers. And it's just isolating Kelly Brown just a little too much for Stephen Peters' liking, no doubt, as Brown looks to get on the end of this one. But Haywood's played it back to James. A little short. The keeper did well.
Risky pass. As we've already mentioned, this surface, you need to make sure those balls are firm enough and that players can't sneak in.
Actually, we'll cross back to you once more. Tell us about the surface. How are the players finding it? We feel like it may be just playing a little too slow. I mean, it's perfect, but it looks as though it may be playing a little too slow at the moment.
Yeah, look, I think both these teams are used to playing on synthetic week in, week out. Of course, Lambert Park has fresh synthetic. Linwood also a synthetic surface where the ball can skip a bit more than on the natural grass. And I think that might have played a small factor. But overall, as you guys have said in commentary, it's as good as it gets down here.
Thank you, Will, for that. And again, Will Constantinides has been a fabulous commentator this season and over the years for Football New South Wales, filling us in with our pitchside commentary and allowing us to feel the atmosphere from the sideline a little bit and tell us how our coaches are going on with the referees. I've seen Brad Atta get a couple warnings already from the fourth official, so we need to watch his step potentially.
Brad Attard often cops warning from the officials. He's quite an energetic coach on the sideline. Likes to lead by example, I guess, in terms of the effort he wants his players to put in. But he's not afraid to be vocal.
Mona Walker there, the space. So that's a brave challenge from both Walker and Hay. Ball falls here for Haywood. Still Paige Haywood. Looked for the opportunity to deliver into the box, but it didn't come. Getting more involved as well is Haywood now, but that pass is off. Mona Walker, couple big challenges, and they've both stayed down here. I think that might be Darcy Malone.
Mona Walker's quite a fiery player, can be aggressive at times. She was the most yellow-carded player across the NPL New South Wales women's competition this season with 8 yellow cards. So she hasn't got one yet today, so no holding back from her.
Definitely not afraid to throw the body around when required. Here's Mona Walker. And she showed there with a couple of big challenges. Here's Sosai now. Given too much space there by Hoban.
Bit of a jersey pull from Hoban, it looked like.
I think she tried to grab the jersey but missed it as Brown now has space and she can hit him from distance. Kelly Brown. Shot deflected and it took the sting off the effort. In the end, easy pickings for Sally James. But again, that space really just appeared out of nowhere for Kelly Brown. Something that APIA need to be aware of. You don't want to give Kelly Brown a shooting space.
No, and I think perhaps Kelly Brown could have taken that shot a touch earlier maybe. She seemed to telegraph that she was about to hit it and allowed the APIA defence to come across and make that block that ended up deflecting it to Sally James.
Haywood heads it on here toward Mona Walker. Haywood may have used the hand there, but the referee was right there, says no. Here is Haywood, picks it back up from Walker, goes down, wanted the foul, not coming though. That ball might just trickle over the line. It stopped right on the line, I think. It's definitely not out. And Teresa Morris here He's very lucky there. The whole team had stopped. The ball was not out of play. We could see it from here. And they're lucky that APIA didn't react immediately.
And again, that's the surface, right? This slower surface, the ball didn't go out. Players have just got to adjust to that.
Corner kick here again for APIA. They continue the press. Just over 20 minutes remaining. And Angelique Christodoulou will deliver. Both these teams are very dangerous on set pieces. Not only can they deliver excellent crosses into the box, but their work set pieces are so dangerous, as we saw previously. APIA equalising from their one at the start of the second half.
Well, both their goals have been set pieces. Is this the third one coming?
Well done there by Morrissey. The ball still bouncing about there. There was calls for something from the APIA players. They're not happy. Free kick's gone the way of the Rams. Christodoulou very upset. Morrissey gets a yellow. Let's just see on this replay what happened there, but definitely complaints from the APIA players.
Maybe
handball by the number 7, Chloe Gordon, but the hands were inside her, on her chest, so I can't really say that's a on-purpose yellow card. Oh, sorry, on-purpose handball. Double changing coming from APIA too.
Macarthur perhaps got away with one there. They've already maybe got away with not having to concede a penalty for the Sosai push earlier. Maybe another one there. But nonetheless, this game plays on.
Sally James will need a sweep here. She does. It looks as though Gisela Pipino and Zoe Panagopoulos will come on. Panagopoulos, the young superstar, who's really shunned for the reserves and, well, for most of the youth teams at Lambert Park.
Just 14 when she made her debut. That's insane to think about, a young player at 14 being ready for the NPL.
And here's Hoban stealing in here, plays in Crofts. These are cross positions, but no power behind the effort. Had to be better from Ash Crofts. She stayed on side, did well to do so. And now one here by Borazio. Heavy touch though. McComiskey comes across and clears away. And Panagopoulos has pretty certain already scored in first team football. She made her debut, as you said, at 14 and did not look out of place at all. And she won't look out of place here either. You'll soon see that if you haven't seen her play yet.
Very technical player. Crazy amount of skill at such a young age. And a great weapon that APIA can bring off the bench.
Just delaying the sub there, Brad Attard. He's waving it down, and we'll see what the idea is behind the substitution in a moment from Will Constantinides. We'll just wait 1 second for that. Calls for a handball. Battle there right on the sideline. Here's Brown. And Will, talk us through this substitution incoming. Do we know who's coming off? And tell us about Zoe Panagopoulos.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's coming off here for APIA, but this is definitely an attacking-minded change. Zoe Panagopoulos, the young 15-year-old, one of the more highly rated prospects, if not the most highly rated prospect at APIA right now. She's a very technical player, very good with her feet, especially that left foot. As for Gisela Pepino coming on, I think she'll come on towards the wing, and her engine will definitely be needed out there where there's plenty of space as the game opens up.
Thanks, Will, for that information. And as we said, Pepino will more than likely come on in place of Angelique Christodoulou. It'll allow Sophie Hoban to slot into the 10 role, unless Brad Attard has something else up his sleeve. But first and foremost, they've got a corner here. More pressure for Macarthur to deal with.
And will they opt for another pre-planned routine, or will Lancaster put it in herself?
It looks as though Lancaster will deliver this one directly into the box, and it is. And Morrissey's got that one. She slaps away at it. Pryor lifts it back up. Walker heads it toward goal, and it's just inches wide. Goal kick. Again, lots of problems for Macarthur from the corner kick. They're really struggling to deal with it at the moment.
And when a ball stays in the box that long after the original delivery, you'd be a little bit nervous. That's how Macarthur scored their second goal.
And just looking toward the APIA bench, I can see their general manager, Matteo Majorana, sitting just behind the bench. He's been standing the whole game, hasn't sat down. I can just imagine the nerves there. Here's Hoban, and he falls for Hoban again, but her touch just didn't really work out for her. Borazio has a go, but that's a defender's effort, that one. Into row Z there, behind the goal.
Not a great effort from Borazio. Of a little bit of concern is Mona Walker, who's lying on the ground right now. Not sure what happened there.
She's been electric for APIA Leichhardt in this game. It'd be such a shame for Brad Attard to lose her. They're preparing the change, but they might have to just delay it if it wasn't Walker that was the one supposed to come off.
Crofts has a message from Walker that she's just relaying to Brad Attard now. Not sure what's going on.
It is Walker coming off. Walker is coming off in place of Pipino. That is a major loss for APIA Leichhardt. We might just flick over to Will quickly again. Will, do we know what's wrong with Mona? Is the head clash that she was involved in earlier?
Yeah, I think she is holding that head at the moment. She seems to be in real discomfort. As mentioned, this is a big loss for APIA, but they bring on a more than capable replacement in Gisela Pepino. I just heard Brad Attard say that Sophie Hoban will drop into midfield in that 10 position that Mona Walker was previously in.
Thank you, Will. It's such a shame that they lose Mona Walker, and how will they deal with this loss now? This is a major problem for APIA. They've been so good in this whole second half, but it's been Mona Walker that's led every single press. She's been the one that's been important in winning the ball back. Can they deal without her?
Other players will have to step up because, as you mentioned, Mona Walker has been really strong in the second half. The whole game, really, she's been good. And players like Pepino, who's about to be subbed on, Sophie Hoban going into number 10. And I think Charlotte Lancaster also has to step up and insert herself into the game a little bit more.
Here's Brown now in a good position for the Rams. Well defended though by Borazio. Sosai plays it forward. Pryor drops it off there. Now Krista Dooley, who we thought would be subbed, stays on the park, and now Pipino trying to get her first touch, but easily dealt with by Sosai.
Pepino often played in the midfield growing up, so her and Hoban, I wouldn't be surprised if they overlap each other and make little runs, but she has started on the wing here, Pepino.
Well, with Panagopoulos warming up, they might feel that maybe it's a little bit too early to put the youngster on, but definitely a potential opportunity for her to come on and Pipino perhaps to drop into midfield. We'll have to wait and see what Brad Attard does and how he deals with things in terms of his substitutions.
Does it create a bit of an opportunity for Macarthur now, obviously, with Mona Walker off? Can they start to take back a little bit of that momentum?
Well, they absolutely should, because they've been second best in this second half. Without a doubt, they have not been the better team. APIA have dominated the second period, maybe even more than what Macarthur dominated the first half. They've been really good. They've not allowed much for the Rams at all. They haven't really created anything. So
I don't think the Rams have had a single shot on target this second half.
And it's testament to how this APIA team came out for the second period. And they'll need to keep it going. Again, when you lose your motor, though, it's so tough. But you still got experience there in Young and Pryor at the back. So you expect them to really pull their weight now and help the team get through this tough period. I think we might be headed for extra time.
I hate to say it, I'm not a massive fan of extra time in games like this, because often teams can retreat and not go for it in extra time, not want to make that mistake. I think hopefully a team can win it within the 90 minutes. Right now, APIA have the momentum, but Macarthur can make magic happen, so it could go either way.
Well, we're still over 10 minutes away from extra time, plus stoppage time as well. So we're looking at least another 15 minutes before we get to that period of play. Cleared away there by Lobo. Free kick goes the way of APIA. High foot there on Chloe Gordon. Charlotte Young will take the free kick for APIA. Here's Fragale. Forward for Pipino. Sosai now, who was substituted, is into the pace of the game. Pipino now is the one that needs to adjust. And Brad Attard gets a yellow card for leaving his technical area, I believe.
He's got quite a big technical area, so there's plenty of room for him to roam the sideline and stay in his box. So needs to watch that now.
Barazio will take the throw now for Apia. Here's Pipino. Gets it back from Krista Zulu. Poor delivery though, easy for Morrissey. Couldn't really get under the ball there or deliver a testing cross into the area. Morrissey releases forward. Pryor should deal with that. Here's Lancaster, and she's been quiet the last 10 or so minutes. And one of those that really do need to step it up with Walker now going off. She's definitely one of the leaders in the front third, as is Hoban, as is Crofts. These players have been quiet though, and still Apia dominate.
Yeah, it's been mainly in the midfield that they've been dominating. Players like Fragale have been really strong. And
Brown driving through. What a powerful run from Kelly Brown. Forced herself a little too wide. And Pipino back to help defensively. Strong challenge there. But Pipino helps win it back again. And now Crofts looking to release Lancaster, putting Hay under pressure. Morrissey, the outlet there. And Hay now looking to get on the front foot, but her pass into the feet of Pryor.
Hay's been good defensively for this game. A couple of times she's had to deal with crosses coming into the box, and she's been the only ram, and there have been two Apia players surrounding her, so she's stepped up to the task of grand final day quite well.
And Lancaster there had the opportunity to release the ball early, but took an extra touch unnecessarily because Gisela Pipino was on her way. Here's Sunaga now. Central for Brown. It's the ball caught between her feet, but still manages to find the pass for Malone, and now Sunaga, but Sally James got there. Tanya Borazio stepped in front of Sunaga just enough to slow the attacker down.
Malone had some space there to work with. I'm surprised she didn't go for the shot herself. I know she's not a super attacking player, but she had the time and space.
And now Caceres showing some of her skill. But how about that for a retrieving challenge? Who else but Estelle Fragale? And that's a poor pass by Hayward. Really wasted pass. Allowing now Lobo to drive through. I thought Caceres was offside. And the flag's gone up.
Poor discipline from Mel Caceres there to call for the ball. She probably should have realised that she was offside.
And it wasn't Brad Attard that got the yellow card. It was Kevin Bush, his assistant. Just got confirmation from our man on the sideline, Will Constantinides. He's young, playing it forward. Intercepted though. It's one of those sloppy periods again, it seems. And now taken advantage of by True. Bronte True has the pace. What about that for a challenge? A retirement challenge from Charlotte Young, showing she's still got the timing. Maybe not the pace, but definitely the timing to make a challenge.
Well, she didn't have the pace. Bronte True was about to breeze on past her, and she knew that was a small window of opportunity she had to make that challenge, because once Bronte True was past, there was no catching her. And what a great tackle she made.
And now the Rams, without Indy Breyer, will see Kelly Brown delivering to the box, and her deliveries are good, but again, as I say, I'd rather have her height in the area. It's a good ball though. Sally James has flapped at it, bounced about there, and they managed to, well, they haven't cleared it yet because Mel Caceres wants to go now. Confusion there by both teams. McComiskey, her pass is off. And Charlotte Young just clears it away. Poor touch from Stephen Peters as well. Steve, expect better from that than you from there.
That corner created a lot of chaos for Apia to have to deal with then. And They did it well in the end. At times it looked like Macarthur might do a bit more.
It's a head clash here between Borazio and Sunaga. Second head clash of the game for Sunaga. They're both still down as well, and it looks as though Borazio may be in a bit more trouble and discomfort.
She seems to have come off second best. Sunaga's at least sitting up. Borazio, not yet.
They do have Caitlin Kiparizov, Teal Kilbride on the bench as well, two defensive players. APIA, should Brad Attard need to go to the bench and replace Borazio. She's back to her feet now though, so it looks as though she's shaking it off. Sunaga up as well.
Hopefully Borazio's okay, but head injuries are the kind of thing that you need to take pretty seriously in this day and age with everything we know.
Does look quite gingerly though, Tanya Borazio. Fourth official just giving some instruction as well. I think it'll be a drop ball there on the sideline. I think the Rams had possession, so I think both teams are confused, it seems. Pipino told to step back. And Brown will play on here. Still Kelly Brown. Brown has a go. That was a shot destined for target there, but a block there from Pryor. Now True. Goes infield. Plays it off there for Gordon. Intercepted by Hoban. And Macarthur lucky that Hoban didn't get the ball going in the direction she wanted. Done excellent there to dance away from three challenges.
Still going. Sophie Hoban.
Here's Hayward now. Back for Hoban. Finds the central pass to Krista Dulu. Crofts goes down, no foul. Krista Dulu loses the challenge too.
Good defending by Hansky there.
Now Hayward again. Lancaster in a good position. This should be easy for Morrissey. It is well claimed by the Rams goalkeeper.
Sophie Hoban's run there was incredible. The way she was able to just dance around the Rams and travel a long way down this pitch.
And now Fragala's down. Again, long seasons for these ladies as well. 26 games. This is their 28th game for both teams. Seasonal games, plus the cup and pre-season.
And a lot of them have had limited break. They've come straight into things after an A-League women's season. So that's sort of the way the football calendar year works for women in Australia.
Great run there by McComiskey as well. Saw Hoban earlier and thought, well, if you can do it, maybe I can do it better. Brown taking the throw. Giving the ball away. And now, maybe APIA can counter. Krista Dulu had to open her body up there. Tash Pryor had made a great run forward. The midfielder just went the wrong way. Now Sunaga driving forward, looking to find Bronte True, I think, from the Rams up. They've gone back to the left side again. Here's Gordon.
They should have hit True there with that opportunity. She had the space out wide. Just took a bit too long.
Now Sosai. And that delivery is easy for Sally James, keeper of her quality. Finds those ones easy to deal with. And you can maybe see on the screen, or you can't, but Marconi players starting to arrive now. Rockdale Illingdon fans as well. That one kicks off at 6 p.m. What a game that promises to be. Rockdale Illingdon against the Macarthur Rams. Sorry, not against the Macarthur Rams, against the Marconi Stallions. That one from 6 p.m. So another big battle, and what a beautiful day as well for this. A great day for the advertisement of football in New South Wales to quality teams in the women's competition, 2 quality teams in the men's, leaving it all out there.
And what a perfect stage to have this double-header. First time we've had the double-header at CommBank Stadium, and it's just a great opportunity for all 4 sides to show their quality.
Caceres with a central ball there. Lancaster clears it away looking for Crofts. Trying to turn away from McComiskey, and she almost had her, did Ashcroft. Opts to keep the ball in. Pipino's got a bit of space, and Lancaster wants it at the far post. Almost a handball from Hay. Had to be very careful. Pipino now battling away. Wins the free kick. Another opportunity. Yellow card to Sunaga. And now APIA with the opportunity for Lancaster to deliver another ball in the box. And you feel if they were to score here, it would just about be curtains, because we're into the 90th minute now. So time has absolutely flown in the second period.
This is a big moment in this game. Obviously so late in the game. A free kick, this sort of range, and this central. I think Lancaster could go for goal here. I don't think she will, but...
She has gone for goal. Try to catch Morris Yard, and the keeper almost with a howler there. It would have been one of the howlers of the season at the worst point as well.
That would have been an exciting way for APIA to win the game, but awful for Teresa Morrissey, who's been strong all year. Goalkeeper of the month in the competition several times. Yeah, you don't want to lose a grand final like that.
And it looks as though Chelsea Barton will be coming on for the Macarthur Rams. And it is Sunaga who comes off. She put a real shift in, was in the walls, was Miku Sunaga, and gets a round of applause from the Macarthur faithful.
Really strong, especially stepping into a slightly unfamiliar position in the first half, playing in the midfield for the injured Bethany Gordon, and a little bit less impactful when she shifted to the wing, but nonetheless a good performance from Miku Sunaga.
Well, Barton has slotted in at left back now. Sosai has moved into the left wing position. There isn't much time left in normal time, but how will APIA be able to expose Chelsea Barton at left back? That's the question with the time that remains.
I don't think so. Chelsea Barton's a strong player, good defensive player, often plays as a centre back, is her preferred position, but Gisela Pepino's not a super fast player. She's quick, but I think Chelsea Barton has the pace to be able to keep up.
Great turn from Fragale on the far side. Wins the free kick as well. Another chance for Lancaster to deliver a free kick in the box. This time Young has gone forward. Pryor's up there too. You've got to think this would be the winner if they're able to score here. 6 minutes of stoppage time have been added. Here's Young.
It's a good ball in.
Pipino will pick up the loose ball. Thought about the delivery. Gets it back to Hoban. Different angle. That one headed away there by Malone. Now to Neil Hay. Has a bit of space. Are we headed for extra time here, or can someone pinch a winner in the 4 minutes that remain?
All signs point to extra time at this stage. APIA's had the better of the chances, but I still don't think they'll get there in this 90 minutes.
Lancaster square ball for Fragale, and now Christodoulou. Wide here for Borazio. Pryor now almost playing as a midfielder. Pryor again, under pressure from Sosai. Much stronger is Tash Pryor. Borazio just weighing up her options. Pryor gets the ball, delivers toward Ashcroft, and I feel like Charlotte Lancaster had to cheat there. She didn't. All eyes were on Crofts. Here's Caceres. Strong challenge from Christodoulou. She's put in a solid shift, has Angelique Christodoulou. And so is this one. Estelle Fragale again, leading another charge forward for APIA. Christodoulou.
Especially with Mona Walker having to go off.
Here's Lancaster.
Those two have played well.
On the right foot. Good ball in the box. Barton heads away. Fragale putting her body on the line. Falls for Lancaster again. She'll claim that was a cross. I'm telling you it was a shot. Crofts on the turn, has her shot blocked. Borazio. Crofts is unmarked. Pryor out wide to Pipino. Delivery into the box, dealt with by Lobo. Apia pressing now late on.
It's just relentless. Macarthur are struggling to keep the ball when they do win it back, and then Apia just come again.
And Hayward and Fragale almost got in each other's way, and Bronte True tried to take full advantage. Borazio reads that pass. He's Pipino, who almost threaded the needle, but now Hoban. This is a chance, is it? For Cross, Ash Cross. What a challenge from Chelsea Barton. The substitute makes a phenomenal challenge. Ash Cross is still down. Lancaster keeps it in. Here's Pipino, the other substitute, and that's a poor effort from Pipino in the end.
Yeah, she would have liked to have that effort over again, or perhaps make a different decision and not go for goal with the ball bouncing around like that. As you mentioned, Chelsea Barton, what a crucial tackle coming on late in the game in a position that she doesn't always play.
Look at Fragale working so hard back. Referees pulled the foul back for the Rams all the way back, almost at halfway.
Bronte True's got to be careful. She just nudged Paige Hayward in the back. Those two getting a little bit feisty with one another. But Bronte True has been really strong today. Her speed has been a difference maker for Macarthur when they've looked good going forward. I'm surprised that she hasn't been in the starting side for more games this year.
Well, it's only recently that she's really dropped out of the squad, and it's a bit hard to. You've got so much quality around the park. Someone needs to be on the bench, and unfortunately for True, it ended up being her. But we spoke about these opportunities for Apia in the front third from free kicks, and now Macarthur get one with Lobo delivering into the area. Cross is a little short, but still there. Brown heads it on. McComiskey looking for a brace. And now Hoban. Can they get him on the counter? Lancaster plays it through for Pipino. That'll hold up.
Good ball from Lancaster to find the gap.
Crofts is in the area. Arriving late is Hoban as well. Pipino, her efforts blocked, and disappointing from her. It wasn't a shot. It wasn't a cross either. In the end, nothing. Tough ball to deal with here for Sally James, with True putting on the pressure.
Good composure from the goalkeeper. I was getting a little bit nervous for her, but she didn't let that show.
Did well in the end. Could have been very, very costly for Apia. Here's Hay. Blocked there again by Fragale.
And there we have it, full time here at Combank Stadium. We are headed for extra time in the grand final.
An extra time it is. What a 90 minutes of football we had. It was Macarthur that struck first early on inside the first 2 minutes. Apia struck back through Charlotte Lancaster before the Rams again took the lead. They held that into half-time. The second half, though, it was all APIA Leichhardt. They scored 5 minutes in to the second half and really, really dominated proceedings. They couldn't find the go-ahead goal. And we go to an extra 30 minutes. Annabelle, what are we expecting here?
I think APIA can hold on to this momentum. They've looked really strong in the second half, as you mentioned. And Macarthur needs to be able to weather this storm and create opportunities when they do get them. For APIA, it's about being a bit more considered when you're in the final third, and making the right shot opportunity, making sure that they're on target, they're powerful, rather than some of the half-hearted efforts towards goal we've been seeing from APIA Leichhardt.
Let's just switch down to our pitch side commentator, Will Constantinides. Will, you're there in the trenches. Tell us, what's the situation like? How are the two teams looking? Who looks the fresher?
Well, yeah, it's hard to tell, to be honest. They're both still out on their feet. Still plenty of subs to be made. Only a couple subs between the two benches. Plenty of words of encouragement. I'm right over near the APIA side at the moment. They feel like they have the momentum behind them. They feel that they have their chances and can go push on and win it. Meanwhile, taking a look at the Macarthur Rams, Stephen Peters, he's barking out instructions to his troops. They were very, very close to their own. They saw that pressure on Sally James, and down here at pitch side, there wasn't much in that challenge from Bronte True, who was inches away from nipping it off the APIA keeper. Should be a great extra time, guys.
Thank you once more to Will. And Annabelle, you said you feel as though APIA have the upper hand at the moment. They're the team pushing a little bit stronger going forward. I'm just unsure this Macarthur team, that pace of Bronte True has created major issues, and I feel if they can unlock her as they sort of have started to do so in the latter part of the second half, I think that APIA might be starting to run out of legs.
Well, if Macarthur can keep absorbing the pressure that APIA are sending their way, it only takes one chance, right? It only takes one opportunity where Bronte True's speed catches an APIA player out and she's off to goal. So they just need to be defensively really strong, compact, able to weather this APIA storm, send it out towards True and see what magic can happen.
Well, the ideal scenario here for APIA would be to send on Zoe Panagopoulos and the 15-year-old to score the winner. What a storyline that would be. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we do see the youngster come on soon. It's an incredible stage for her to come on for, but that's when stars are born, and maybe she's the one looking at the benches of the two sides. Maybe she's the one that puts her name up in lights, or perhaps it's Brinley Gentle that comes on and adds a bit of extra spark up top, because they really seem like they need it now after Mona Walker had to come off.
Absolutely. And Zoe Panagopoulos, imagine being a club legend at 15, winning your side's first ever grand final. That would just be such a storyline. I think you're right. I think they need to get Panagopoulos or Gentle, maybe even both, on this field soon, because Ashley Crofts and Charlotte Lancaster have been out there a full 90 minutes. Giselle Pepino's come on late, but she hasn't been able to create that much. Some of her shots off target or lacking a bit of pace and power. Maybe Panagopoulos can be the one to get the winner for the APIA Leichhardt team.
Well, APIA will get us started in the first half of extra time. No changes from either side at the end of 90 minutes. Obviously a couple changes throughout the game, but after the full-time whistle, no substitutions between the little break. Krista Dulu makes the challenge there. Now Croft spreads it out wide to Pipino. That's a bad challenge there from Chloe Gordon. And it gives Lancaster, this is better territory now. He may be just a little too far wide. I actually felt like the free kick was a bit further forward as well, to be honest. But it might just be a little too wide to have a direct effort at that goal. But definitely the position to deliver another dangerous cross into the box.
This sort of area is exactly where Charlotte Lancaster can deliver her best deliveries into the box. She scored that goal in the first half, right? Very similar range.
And she's gone direct, but wide of Teresa Morrissey's goal. And you sort of feel like you need to put some pressure on the keeper there. You need to test the keeper from those sorts of situations. And Lancaster will be disappointed with that attempt, I believe.
Yeah, maybe she just rushed it a little bit, I'm not sure, but a disappointing effort there from somebody with the quality of Charlotte Lancaster.
Again, APIA have started this extra time as well as they started the second half on the front foot immediately. Pipino gets it out to Hoban, but well defended by Malone. Now Pryor. Lancaster will deliver this one into the box, I believe. Blocked by True. And now maybe a counter here for the Rams. Kelly Brown releases Bronte True, and this is the danger woman at the moment. True running on.
Soso making her way into the box, but True couldn't find her.
It's a poor decision and has to be better from Bronte True. I understand after more than 90 minutes played, it's tough to make the right decisions, but now APIA can make the right one of their own, and they don't either. Both teams making the wrong decisions. It was a good opportunity there. It really opened up nicely for Sophie Herbert and Ash Crofts, and Crofts just not quite getting the pass where she would have liked.
Both teams showing signs of mental fatigue more than anything. Nobody started cramping yet. They look physically okay, but decision making starts to drop off a little bit as you get tired.
Throw in now for the Rams. Tennille Hay to take. Here's Caceres. The pass is tired. Malone back for Caceres. Intercepted again. This time fell into the path of Lobo. And Fragale now has acres of space in front. Pipino makes the overlapping run. And what a ball there from Fragale. Pipino, can she be the hero? Pipino, and Morrissey saves. Fragale not happy. She wanted that ball cut back square. She made the forward run.
On a field like this, Macarthur Rams, their midfield was just all over the place for that Fragale run. They need to be a little bit more connected. Caceres plays quite high. Chloe Gordon's quite deep at the moment. And there's a lot of space when the APIA midfield gets the ball.
And let me ask you a question now, Annabelle. Put you on the spot. Your player of the game. Who are we going for? The result stays as is at the moment. Let's just see this from Kelly Brown. Brown straight into the hands of James.
Good run from Brown, but she needed a better finish on the end of it. Player of the match. I think Estelle Fragale has been up there for me. She's just an engine, often an unsung hero of the team, you know, playing in a defensive midfielder role. But
he's Crofts now in a good opportunity. Ball falls here for Lancaster. Crofts delivers the perfect ball. Pipino has her effort blocked, but it was poor. It took too long, had to be quicker. Still, though, the opportunity is there again. A corner incoming for Charlotte Lancaster and APIA.
What about you, Nick? Who's your player of the match? If let's say the Rams win it.
Well, should the Rams win it, I think Bronte True has just been the most dangerous player on the park for the Rams. It's got to be Bronte True or Madison McComiskey. From looking at APIA, I have to agree with you. I think Estelle Fragale has been phenomenal. Her and Mona Walker have been excellent in this game. So let's see which way those picking decide to go. Usually the journos, might be us.
It depends on how things go here. If someone can find a winner in extra time, or if we end up at the dreaded penalty shootout.
Well, it would be interesting to see if either team was to score, how the opposition reacts. APIA, of course, have a lot more firepower on the bench should they concede here in extra time. What will the Rams do should they concede? That'll be the interesting thing for me to see what happens.
For me as well, this will be more moving into the second extra time period, but if we start to see penalty takers subbed on, because sometimes people want fresh legs or more practiced penalty takers going on at the last minute.
Here's Hay now driving forward. Good defending from Pipino. Needs to release the ball though, wins the free kick.
I'm sure decisions will be going through coaches' heads right now, and assistant coaches starting to plan out if no more goals are scored and we end up at a shootout, who's taking them, what's the plan?
Here is Borazio now. Playing it forward for Lancaster, who once more has moved out to the right. Pipino's come out to the left. Lola Sosay almost jumping on that one. Here's Sally James. And Tennille Hayes out of position here. Haywood drives forward. It's a 4-on-2 really here. Pipino gets the ball back to Haywood. The left back in an attacking position, and Hoban, the ball wouldn't fall for her. They're calling for a pass back, but not coming.
Chloe Gordon got in there just at the right time to stop the pass reaching Hoban, but Paige Haywood was allowed to run a long way with the ball then. And I think, again, it's that mental fatigue, poor decision making, players jumping into tackles when they perhaps didn't need to. Haywood picked up the ball somewhere around the halfway line.
And Malone pinches the ball there. Now Brown.
Can they find True?
This is a position now for Bronte True. True looks toward goal. Still Bronte True. Tried to feed the ball in, and great challenge from Young.
I think a lot of the stadium held their breath then when Young sent the ball back towards her own goal. Luckily it was just wide and it'll be at Rams corner, but Sally James made a dive. She was ready to protect her goal from her own captain.
Well, another opportunity now from a corner for Macarthur. Both teams have been dangerous from set pieces in the game so far. Can the Rams nudge back in front? Headed away by Ashcroft. Falls for Barton. Spreads it back out wide again. Brown gets there. Got the ball too close to Sally James on that occasion. And she'll settle things down now. Here's Haywood. Back to the goalkeeper. Headed away there by Malone. Into the back of Hoban. Referee allows play to continue, but with Pipino losing the ball. Brought it back for the foul on Hoban. And Hoban will try and play this quickly because Caceres and Malone were both out of position. Left it for Pryor. And we've got 5 minutes, or just over 5 minutes remaining in the first period of extra time. These two can't be separated at the moment. Fragale back for Charlotte Young. And Young looking for Pipino. Is a good looking ball for a moment. He's Young again. Christodoulou for Lancaster. As well there, Lancaster, but too many maroon jerseys. Free kick goes the way of Mel Caceres. And that's another tired decision from the player on the park there. Played 100 minutes now.
She had to release that ball a little bit quicker, Charlotte Lancaster, but I think Mel Caceres is a player that hasn't had a big enough impact since the first half. She played well the first half, but since then she hasn't been good enough for the Rams in the way she's been playing the last few weeks of the season.
Barton back from Morrissey here. Picks the ball up again. Chelsea Barton. Ball pass there though, and possession goes back to APIA. Fragale gets a touch on that. They've slowed the pace of the game down definitely. They win a free kick now though.
Seems a bit tense out there. Both sides seem quite nervous. Even the crowd seems pretty nervous.
And Fragale with cramp. It's the first bouts of cramp that we've seen. And the amount of kilometres she's put in, I'd love to see her stats after the game to see exactly how much ground she's covered.
Yeah, if you had to pick a player who deserves to cramp because of how much they've worked, Fragale would have been the one to pick. She just seems to be everywhere.
After this free kick, we'll check back in with our pitchside commentator, Will Constantinides. But for now, let's see what Charlotte Lancaster can cook up here. It's a good ball into a dangerous area. Pryor's there. Falls for Young. And oh, what a finish that would have been to a career. Charlotte Young volleys wide.
That could have been a fairy tale finish right there. The captain
in her final game for the club. She's retiring at the end of the season. Couldn't have been a better storyline, but didn't go in, so we are playing on.
And now True breaks down the other way. Hayward pulled her back.
Penalty. I think it was
outside the area. I'm certain that was outside the area. And the assistant referee has seen it as I have. True
Just
fell
outside.
inside the box. Red card for Hayward. Red card for Paige Hayward for the foul outside the box. If it was a penalty, she wouldn't have been sent off, but because it's the free kick, she's been given the red. She wasn't the last player, though, so I'm a little bit confused with that decision.
It's probably a better result for APIA than a penalty, though. I just outside the box.
The first contact was outside the box.
The first contact was just outside the box. True fell in the box, though. And she's not happy. She thinks she should have a penalty. You're right. Definitely outside the box.
There's the tug there. The tug is definitely outside. There's no question there. Was Hayward the last defender, though? That I'm not sure of.
She was on her way to goal, Bronte True. That's the way the referee's seen it. Paige Hayward's been sent for an early shower.
And how does this change the game now? We're 2 minutes away from halftime in extra time. They've got to play 10 for the rest of the game.
Suddenly, APIA have to defend, and if Rams can capitalise, not even just if they score here, but having 11 players on a field this large with tired legs.
Kelly Brown can strike him from here. She goes direct, took a deflection. No one else but me seemed to see it.
I thought it was a deflection too. I'm backing you there, Nick, but yeah.
Goal kick, says the assistant referee.
She's changed her mind.
Isabella Mosson says it's a corner. So Kelly Brown gets another opportunity to deliver.
This just swings all the momentum the way of Macarthur. If they can, make the right passes and play the game right now, they have a number up. That completely changes things.
We'll dial into Will Constantinides after the halftime break. Ball into the box. Ball bouncing about. Young clears away. You got to feel that Caitlin Kipartizov will be the one to come onto the field, but who do they take off to bring the extra defender on? Ball comes in. They don't want to concede now. McComiskey, and that one taken by James.
I'm not sure. I think you probably have to take off a winger, but Lancaster's got such a quality with deliveries. Pepino's the fresh sub, so she's got the freshest legs of anyone out there. I think it's a real decision to ponder over for the APIA sideline.
Do you perhaps take a midfielder off and drop your two wingers to play a little deeper and sort of turn the midfielder into a 5 and go 4 at the back, leave
perhaps.
4 in the midfield, go to a 4-4-1. Is that what they go to? It's a tough one.
I think that's definitely a realistic option. 2 minutes will be added onto this first half of extra time.
Lancaster's dropped into left back now. Here she is on the ball. Tennille Hay, good defending from her. And Lancaster needs to just focus on her defensive duties for the moment. Here's Malone. Sends it forward. Good ball toward Kelly Brown. The momentum has definitely switched. Good ball, and Sally James. That is brave goalkeeping.
Crucial goalkeeping. She needed to make that save because Sosai had gotten around Barazia.
Here's Christodoulou now. There won't be much going forward for APIA until they make the adjustment. Here's Pryor. Putting in a shift is Tash Pryor. Lancaster forced back to Sally James, but this is probably what they want, and APIA's best hope now is probably a penalty shootout.
Yeah, you'd imagine that's what they'd be playing towards now.
Well, can they pin something here? Here's Hoban. Pipino pushing hard to get forward. Hoban does well. They'll take the corner. This is a chance now. It'll be the last kick of this first period of extra time. Lancaster will take her time. Pryor's already in the box. Young is making her way forward. And you got to think if APIA were to score here, it would be a Jose Mourinho special double-decker bus in front of the goal for the second 15 minutes.
Have to be, especially now they're down to 10.
Cross comes in, good ball in again. Well defended, it'll come back for Lancaster. Oh, Sosai was closer to it. Fragale needs to be careful. She's missed the ball, but that's half-time in extra time. What a game of football we've had. APIA seem to be dominating this extra time period as well. Then the pace of Bronte True again getting the better of APIA. Paige Hayward getting a red card.
This game has had absolutely everything. There's been goals. Both teams have had a goal from their centre-backs. And we've just seen a red card in the grand final. It's been dramatic, it's been exciting, and it'll be interesting to see what happens now, whether Macarthur is still pushing to find a winner here in extra time. With APIA down to 10, you can't imagine they will be pushing to find the winner, or if both teams are trying not to make a mistake. You don't want to lose the grand final here. Are you trying to protect this draw to get to the penalty shootout? If you're APIA, I think that's the approach when you're down to 10. If you're Macarthur, I think you've got to push now while you have the numbers advantage, because it becomes a 50-50 when it gets to the shootout.
Well, let's go down to Will Constantinides. He's right there in the middle. Will, tell us what is going on down there. How did Macarthur take the red? They wanted a penalty, and how did Brad Attard take the red card? He would have felt that Paige Hayward wasn't the last player in defence.
Yeah, there was plenty of conjecture each way. I think there was definitely a clear argument towards it being a red card. With Bronte True's pace, she was going to go one-on-one. The Rams' argument was, whilst there was contact that started outside the box, that the actual foul was committed inside the box. Meanwhile, for APIA, they were protesting their innocence of Paige Hayward, and there's been a substitution that's happened in the background as well. There's changes flying everywhere. I had a quick listen in on what Stephen Peters was saying to his side at the break. He was adamant on finding the open player, keeping this APIA defence stretched, and he knows that this game is here for the taking for his side.
And from what I can see, Will, it seems as though Ash Crofts has come off, and Caitlin Kipadizov has come in at left back. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, Nicola. It's a defensive-minded change, of course. Ash Crofts, she did lose a bit of legs towards the back end of that extra time. Reminder that she only started her first game from a rib injury last week in the semi-final, and she got through a full 90 after only playing 30 minutes the week prior, so that's a big shift from her tonight.
And how do you think that APIA will line up now? Obviously taking Crofts off, will they finish the game with no number 9, or do you believe that someone else will slot into that position?
Yeah, it looks like they've put Lancaster and Pepino as these two roving attackers with Hoban just behind them. I don't expect them to fully sit back and absorb this pressure with, not this big pitch. It's hard to absorb pressure for a sustained period of time out on this pitch. And we saw in the last 5 minutes of that extra time period that they actually were willing to try and play out from the back to try and take the game to Rams. I don't expect them to sit back and absorb pressure, but we'll see what happens in the second half of extra time.
Thank you, Will, for that. And now the second half has started with Macarthur on the front foot. Tennille Hay with a speculative effort from some way out, but Sally James may have hurt herself here.
That is not good news, especially as we look destined for a penalty shootout. Losing your goalkeeper is not something you'd like to have happen before that.
She hasn't asked for medical attention just yet, so she may be okay, may just be, well, she has now, so this could be a problem for APIA.
They've got a quality goalkeeper on the bench who can step on when needed. Sophie Maggers has started for them plenty of games this season when Sally James was on A-League Women's duty. But you don't want to be having to make changes to your goalkeeper in any game, really.
Well, let's see what the two teams do in this second 15-minute extra time period. Will there be further changes? Till Kilbride on the bench still. Zoe Panagopoulos, the young 15-year-old, and Brinley Gentle for APIA. For the Macarthur Rams, Helena Halios-Lewis on the bench. Libby Morris. And reserve keeper Kiara Roche. As we said, Sophie Maggis as well on the bench for APIA Leichhardt. Seems as though maybe a groin injury for Sally James.
She's back up on her feet. Doesn't look to be a sub happening, which is good news for APIA. Is that something the Rams potentially see and go, now we can test her out a little bit more, try and, you know, hit shots we might not have otherwise?
Well, look, they haven't really tested Sally James. She's made a few really important interceptions, balls into the box, but hasn't really been tested with any efforts at goal. So she seems fine after taking that kick. I don't think that'll be a hindrance to her. I just don't know how APIA will hold out these next few minutes. Legs are tired. Play her down. Won't be easy for them. No way. Here's Pryor now. She's full of energy still. 110 minutes played almost, and right into the attacking third.
Already one goal to her name. Tash Pryor with the header just after half time.
Here's Hoban. Back to Lancaster, but the last touch coming off a Rams player, so it'll be APIA ball. Caitlin Kipartizov getting her first touches of the grand final. Will be from a throw-in. Here's Pipino in a good position. Couldn't quite turn though. Angelique Christodoulou has a go from distance, and that one was more so let's finish the action rather than lose the ball in a dangerous position.
And now is where it's really important for APIA to be a defensive unit that works together, no gaps that fast players like Bronte True can exploit.
And Kipartizov is coming to these games. She probably wasn't warming up as she would have expected to come on then, but how will she deal with True is the question. And here's Sosai first though. Christodoulou across to help defend. Borazio clears. Unable to keep it in. Now Malone for the Rams. Driving forward. Thought about playing it to Sosai, goes on her own. It was a good turn, but ran out of legs and slipped over there. Did Darcy Malone. Barton intercepts that pass. I think most of this second half will be played here.
Yeah, I agree. I think these wide channels for Macarthur with where they can really try and find this winner, especially on the right-hand side with Bronte True. She's caused plenty of chaos for APIA to have to deal with so far in this game. But to one red card, can she create something else that's special for the Rams?
Here is Barton now, switching play. Well read by Kipartizov. Had to be aware as well with True closing her down. Now Maya Lobo. Kipartizov again reacting well. Fragale still working hard, still winning free kicks. Still fully involved in this game. Hay retracts well there, the veteran. Kipartizov unable to control that one. Rams fans now the ones making a noise.
Rams fans jumping around on the sideline trying to spur their side on to a last-minute victory. And they've won a free kick here.
Seems a little harsh, that one there. Kipartizov making the foul there on Bronte True.
Perhaps a little bit soft, but what can Kelly Brown create from out wide?
Well, the Rams won't care. Give them a really good opportunity now to create something. They've all gone forward. And they're all inside the box bar, two players.
Well, there's nobody from APIA staying up.
And James has missed the ball here, and somehow Young clears. Now Lancaster, Hoban also full of running, but that one just a little bit too far ahead of her. Malone read the pass. Here comes Caceres now. Still Macarthur spreads it wide for Sosai. Delivery into the area. Just a little too much on that for Kelly Brown, who somehow manages to keep it in. Kipadizov did enough. Still though, Kelly Brown bulldozes her way through it now. Caceres. Cross into the area, and True just couldn't control the ball. It was a great opportunity.
Great cross from Macarthur.
Strong challenge there from Pipino, and now Hoban. She's seen Teresa Morrissey off her line and thought about it, but there was not enough power behind that.
Trying the old David Beckham shot from halfway.
Here's Pipino. Christodoulou. Lancaster making the run. And credit to APIA, they haven't stopped trying to move forward with the ball either.
No, they haven't retreated back into their shell. They're showing their...
Great work from Lancaster. Hoban wants the ball forward. It's where it goes. She's in the area now. Can she find the pass or the shot? Look for Borazio there, I think it was. It'll be a goal kick.
Those APIA players, I mean, every player on the pitch out there, great individual talent, and so even though as a team they're tired, they're frustrated, you know, having gone down a player, they can make things happen still.
Here's Barton. Sosai forced back. Malone does well to create some space for herself and feed the ball forward for Kelly Brown. Sosai overlapping. Still Kelly Brown. How strong has she been? Good header from Kipadizov, who's done a good job since coming on at the start of this extra time.
A bit worried with how she'd match up with the speed and just talent of Bronte True, but she's been strong.
Here's Sosai again now, running at Borazio. Sosai cuts it back, but not enough purchase on that. Here's Pipino. Tough pass for Pryor, but Bronte True couldn't control the ball either. Chloe Gordon intercepts that pass. Strong challenge there from Hoban. Now Lancaster can release her. Can APIA pinch it at the end here? Good challenge from Tennille Hay. Not enough legs there for Sophie Hoban to get through.
She's hurt herself though, Tennille Hay. She's limping in backfield.
He's True now. Again using the pace. Kipadizov trying to stay with her. And did just enough, did Caitlin Kipadizov. Now True's gone down. She went down earlier in the game, but corner kick for the Macarthur Rams.
Seems like a cramp for True, which Kelly Brown has gone over to help her stretch. In backfield as well. We've got, I think it's Macarthur who is stretching out a cramp of her own. Steph Regales stretching her calves out. Tennille
Hay still limping about as well, so it's definitely starting to feel the pinch now, other players. And this is just about where
it's taking its toll on these players, and it's about who has the mental toughness to overcome
I'll tell you
the
what,
physical challenges.
APIA is going to go for it. They will attempt to win this late. They're going to bring on Brinley Gentle. They just need to defend this corner, and Gentle will be coming on. Great header there from Komiski. Falls for Lobo.
Good strike from Lobo.
It was well blocked by APIA. Good defending. And I think that APIA are going to throw on Brinley Gentle in place of Angelique Christodoulou.
It looks like Macarthur might be preparing some substitutes of their own too. Libby Morris has got her bib halfway over her head. And Helena Helios-Lewis also getting prepared to come on the pitch.
And this is a very, very attacking substitution from Brad Attard. Angelique Christodoulou put in a great performance, especially in the second half. But to throw on Brinley Gentle, who, as we said, hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but what a way it would be for her to round off this campaign. Darcy Malone and Bronte True come off. Libby Morris and Helena Helios Lewis come on.
Good performances from all three of those players who've just been substituted off. Put in a great amount of effort. Poor Bronte True is barely able to move now.
Here we go now. We're into the last 2.5 minutes here in this grand final at Combank Stadium. Will we get a late winner?
We'll have a corner.
Are we heading to a penalty shootout? Don't forget the Rams have been the penalty shootout once before. Stephen Peters' first ever grand final victory came against the Northern Tigers from the spot. What a way it would be to end this three-peat and his tenure. But first they might finish it here. Ball in. Sally James comes, gets a fist to it. Falls to Lobo. Back in the area, Lobo just over the bar. It wasn't far away. Testing there.
That was a good strike from Lobo. She had some time to work with, was able to check her shoulder, see that James was a little bit off her line after making that save, but just couldn't get the strike to drop in time.
Sally James will take the goal kick now and she'll waste some time, obviously. Down to 10. They don't want to rush anything here. They're under constant threat and constant attack. Lobo sees that one out over the sideline.
I think both coaches would be starting to prepare their penalty lineups, getting players.
Misplaced pass
ready.
there by Brown. Here's Pipino. Looked to be fouled there from Morris, but the referee allows play to continue. Neil Hay intercepts that pass now. And Pryor gets the loose ball. Kipartizov. Hoban switches play. Here's Barton. Young will take that one. And look at Borazio with some space here. And Young's just taking a little too long there. Acres of space opened up for Borazio. That's where the pass goes now. Should have come a few seconds earlier. As Sosai, look at the space for
Brown.
Kelly Brown in the middle. Good defending from Young again. Offside flag raised on Sosai.
But Brown had a lot of room.
It looks like it's penalty time, Annabelle. We've reached the 120-minute mark. 3 minutes of stoppage time in the second half of extra time. So not quite yet at penalty time, but we're knocking on the door.
It's looking like that's where we'll end up. It's a shame that it's gotten to this in a way, but it shows the quality of these two sides that they couldn't be separated. Macarthur had the better first half, APIA had the better second half, and they've had great seasons, both of them. Who do you see lifting the trophy at the end of this?
Oh, look, both keepers are fantastic keepers. I mean, I've been watching Sally James for a number of years. Saw Teresa Morrissey this year, and they've both been great. But first, can APIA win it in the final moments of extra time? Cross is short. Libby Morris should deal with that. Kipartizov for Hoban. Ball just wouldn't sit for Hoban. Again, Chelsea Barton. Another one that's come on and done a fantastic job. Kelly Brown's onside here. Sally James clears away. Kipartizov unable to keep it in. Throw in for the Rams. Last 90 seconds here before we move into a penalty shootout.
Teal Kilbride will be entering the action for APIA Leichhardt, and it's Tanya Barazio who makes her way from the field. She's been told by Brad Hartard to slow to a walk, though, to take as long as possible off the clock here. This, for my mind, this seems to just be a substitution with the intent to waste a little bit of time.
Headed out there, so last minute now.
Ball forward for Halios
Crossed into
Lewis.
the box. Young has to deal with this. Wide for Kipadizov, and that's a terrible ball by Kipadizov. Really put her team under pressure now. Looked a bit of a hand there, and some desperate defending from APIA. That should do it, I think. Pipino strong there. Can't get the ball out to Gentle. That's a nothing pass again, though. Barton has a go from distance, and that will be that. We will be heading to a penalty shootout here at Combank Stadium. What 120 minutes of football we've had. Two teams haven't been able to be separated. Here's Hoban. Is there one last chance? Lancaster wants to play forward. That's where it goes, but McComiskey across to clear. Referee has a look at the watch, and we're almost there now. Here's Lancaster. Through the legs, cheeky little nutmeg there. And Hoban loses out. Libby Morris now plays it through to Brown. You need a foul if you're APIA. Surely you foul here. Kelly Brown drives forward, has the shot. It's blocked. Falls for Caceres, and that will be that now. Surely it is. We head to a penalty shootout here in the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final. 2-2 at full time. Annabelle, what a game we had.
What a game. Plenty of drama. There's been goals, there's been a red card, and there's been lots of great football to feast over this afternoon. And it all ends here with penalties to decide our champion for the NPL New South Wales Women's competition this year. What would be going through the coaches' heads at this point, and the goalkeepers' heads? That's the one who, has the biggest job to do come penalty shootout time.
Well, let's flick over to Will. He's the man down pitch side for us. Will, tell us how the two teams looking heading into this penalty shootout.
Look, APIA, there's no secret. They're definitely the tighter of the two teams. In terms of these teams' penalty history throughout the season, I'd probably give the slight edge to Macarthur. APIA have actually missed a fair few penalties this season. They've cycled through a few takers as the season has gone on, so we'll see what happens as the shootout unfolds.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Will, but it's been happening for APIA for the last few years. It just seems to be an issue. Can they break this hoodoo now at the most important time?
Yeah, well, it remains to be seen. We know Macarthur have won a final in a penalty shootout before, and so they'll hope that experience carries them through. A slightly different squad than the one that won that final a couple of years ago, but they'll hope that core experience can carry them through in the big moment.
Yes, of course, Sham Khamis, the keeper on that event and that time there for the Macarthur Rams, proved to be the hero today. Will it be Teresa Morrissey, or will Sally James be the one that comes up the hero for APIA Leichhardt? Which way do you go, Annabelle? I'm going to throw it straight to you and get you to pick me the winner here in this shootout.
It's a toss of a coin, really, once it comes to penalties. Who blinks first, really? Which keeper can come up with a good save? Which player, unfortunately, misses their penalty? Pre-game, I tipped Macarthur. I'll stick with them, but I'm not confident, really. It's a toss of a coin now that we're at a shootout. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Well, you know what? I'm going to stick to my pre-game tip, and I will say that APIA Leichhardt will come out champions after this shootout. It's been a phenomenal season for both teams. Both teams, it's almost the way it should be decided. And two legends of either club are going to go out either a champion or, unfortunately, grand final loser. But what a moment for Stephen Peters. What a moment for Charlotte Young. Both of them will leave their respective clubs at the end of this game for one last time. One last opportunity now. They're doing the toying cost to see who will take the first penalty.
Well, they couldn't be split through the year. Round one, APIA got the win 2-1. Round two, Macarthur got the win 2-1. And here we are today, a 2-2 draw. It seems fitting for these two sides, both powerhouses in the NPL New South Wales competition. And actually, as you've already mentioned, they finished 1 and 2 on the ladder this year. Last year, they also finished 1 and 2. The year before that, 2 and 3. So these are two sides that couldn't be split for the last few years and couldn't be split here today. So we will head to a shootout.
Well, Macarthur broke their premiership hoodoo this year. Will APIA break their grand final hoodoo? APIA hadn't even qualified for a final in the previous 2 years. They done that this year. They broke one hoodoo. Can they break the other? It's a real tough one. It's a tough one to pick as well which way this game will go. At the end of the day, we've been treated to a real spectacle. Some fantastic football, some excellent goals, some action. It's what we wanted. We don't usually see that in the final, but we've been fortunate enough to witness it. So,
especially those early goals. You don't often see that in a final. Players are nervous. They take their time to settle into things. But today, the attacks were both raring go. It was the defences who, struggled to settle into things. But once they did, it was a real contest between these two sides.
Well, the Macarthur Rams will take the first penalty of the shootout. Sally James has the task of attempting to save the shot. I believe it's Mel Caceres who puts the ball down. Mel Caceres, so reliable for the Rams over the years. Teresa Morrissey just told that she's got to change positions. I saw the referee heading to the pocket for a moment. Morrissey, of course, got a yellow card during the game, so I was a bit worried for her there for a second, but let's see what Caceres can do. She's had to stand at that spot for quite a while now. How will that affect her psyche? Let's see. Sally James told not to bounce around on the line either, and she almost saves the first shot. Caceres buries it in the top corner.
Good finish from Caceres, and I think it was the right person to choose to go up first. Player with experience, who's been here before in the last two grand finals, and can hopefully settle the nerves for some of these Macarthur players who might be heading into their first penalty shootout.
And it looks as though APIA have opted for something very similar as well. They've sent one of their more experienced players in Charlotte Lancaster to the penalty spot. Lancaster, of course, part of that Bulls FC Academy team that lost the final last year to the Rams. What can Lancaster do? Can she equalise for APIA? Yes, she can. A well-taken penalty into the side netting. Even though Morrissey went the right way, she had no chance there.
Perfect penalty. As far wide as you can put it without missing. So, what a great way for both teams to get started and ease their nerves. And here comes the captain, Madison McComiskey.
Well, lots of pressure on her shoulders as well, McComiskey. She's put in an excellent shift. She scored a goal as well today during the game and now has the opportunity to put one away from the spot. Who will blink first in this penalty shootout? Again, Sally James warned to stay on her line. McComiskey, that is a classy finish. Ran up to the spot and just placed it calmly into the bottom corner.
Very calm, very composed finish from a captain who has been a great leader for that Rams side all year.
Here comes Estelle Fragale, the outstanding performer for APIA tonight. Her and Mona Walker put in fantastic shifts, and now Fragale steps up to the line. Teresa Morrissey trying to play mind games here with the APIA midfielder. And Fragale, if I'm honest, doesn't look too confident. And as I picked it, Fragale has her penalty saved
APIA blinks
by
first.
Morrissey. I could just see it from the moment she stepped up. She didn't seem confident at all, did Estelle Fragale. She put in a fabulous display throughout the 120 minutes, but her legs just gave out on her there. And look who stepped up now. The youngster, the substitute, Chelsea Barton.
She might not have been in this position before, but she's been around for many years and she'll want to do this for her club.
And Barton misses as well. Drama here at Combank. Drama as the youngster unable to convert the first opportunity to push Macarthur further ahead. She's consoled by her captain. Is a poor penalty in fairness. Very similar to Fragale's, as Now the APIA captain steps up. The veteran playing her final game, her final professional game. Charlotte Young against Teresa Morrissey. And Young scores, but she has to retake. Had to wait for the whistle. Morrissey went the right way.
She was moving too much, I think, is the reason for the retake.
But this one, I believe, affects the penalty taker more. I think this will really play on the mind of Young, in particular because Morrissey came so close.
Well, all the pressure's on the penalty takers in this situation.
Young again, take two. She goes the same way and buries it with power beyond Morrissey. And that's the captain's finish there. They're level again here. 2-2 in the shootout.
Well, after two misses, it took someone with the experience, the composure, the leadership of Charlotte Young to step up and slot the penalty. And I've noticed Sally James now stepping into goal ready to save this. She hasn't watched any of the penalties being taken by her teammates. Bit nervous maybe, I'm not sure, but she stood in the corner and looked away for each one.
Well, Kelly Brown now has stepped up for the Rams. So reliable and just squeezes it beyond Sally James, and James will be so disappointed with herself. She would have felt as though she should have saved that one.
Well, it wasn't a very powerful strike from Kelly Brown. Luckily the placement was good enough. I think that's what we've seen with the two that have missed so far. You've got to hit one in a penalty. You've got to be perfectly placed or a nice powerful shot if you want it to go in. And if you don't hit those two things, then that's where the keepers have been making some good saves.
It's another substitute now stepping up, Gisela Pipino. The first substitute that stepped up missed. What will Pipino do here? Short run up, easily saved by Morrissey.
Not wide enough, not hard enough. And Morrissey can get to that one pretty easily.
Well, this is the opportunity now. It's all on the shoulders now of the Macarthur Rams. Stephen Peters so close to the three-peat.
Can Libby Morris win this grand final for the Macarthur Rams?
Some weight on her shoulders. We've had two substitutes in the lead-up to this one miss their penalties. Libby Morris now on in the 120th minute, on with a reason, obviously. She's been sent on to win this final for the Macarthur Rams and to create history for Stephen Peters to make it 3 grand final victories in a row. Can the Rams do the double? Morris sends the penalty into the back of the net, and the Macarthur Rams are champions for the 3rd consecutive year. Stephen Peters finishes as a champion. He will be crowned the champion this year along with his Macarthur Rams side. What a final. What a way to finish this. What a way to finish his tenure as the Macarthur Rams head coach.
What a way to finish a phenomenal season for the Macarthur Rams in the NPL New South Wales Women's Competition. They were premiers at the end of the regular season, and now they are champions at the end of the grand final.
And special words as well to APIA. They really showed up today. They put out a fantastic display. They should be proud of themselves. They deserve to be here. They deserve to take the premiers and now the champions all the way. They were good money for all their efforts today, just unfortunately falling just short at the end of the penalty shootout.
First grand final in club history. APIA Leichhardt players and the rest of the coaching staff and team should be incredibly proud of themselves. What a season for them. Brad Outside, first year as a head coach, leads his side to the grand final, and they put up one hell of a fight, taking it all the way to a penalty shootout.
I just have to take a moment just to really give some extra words for Stephen Peters. I've been covering this league for over a decade now, and Stephen Peters was there from the first time I started in my role as the head women's rider. Stephen Peters then was at the Northwest Sydney Koalas as they were called back then a very long time ago. And to see his rise through the ranks, to come to the Rams and to do what he's done, he's absolutely deserved his opportunity in the A-League Women's competition. As a friend, I wish him all the best in his future endeavours with the Perth Glory. I hope he does what he's done here and one day he's crowned a champion. He's had a fantastic tenure as coaches, the Macarthur Rams, to win 3 grand finals in a row. I don't know if it'll ever be achieved again. He's managed to now do the double as well at the end of this. And to a friend, congratulations, well done and good luck. And we'll switch over to our other friend on the sideline, Will Constantinides. We haven't forgotten about him. Will, how was that there from the sideline?
Macarthur faithful, they're loving it at the moment, and rightly so. Deserved 3-peat champions. They were pushed all the way in the end, and what a massive moment for this club, and what a send-off to Stephen Peters, no less than he's deserved for a fantastic tenure.
Thank you, Will, for all your coverage from the sideline. It's been fantastic you having joined us as well. Annabelle, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the final and your first experience in the media room, in the media box.
Pretty special game to be calling for my first grand final, and such a special location to be doing it here at CommBank Stadium, and with it being a double-header to the men's match coming up later. It's a great way to end the season here.
And if you aren't able to get down to CommBank Stadium, please ensure that you log on at 6 p.m. again, live from YouTube, the men's final. What a game that promises to be. The Premiers, Rockdale Illinden, taking on second place Marconi Stallions. That one kicks off at 6 p.m. Tony Tanous and Alex Molchanov will be on the mic for that one. For now, we'll leave you with the presentation. We hope you enjoyed the coverage of the 2024 NPL Women's New South Wales Grand Final for 2024. The champions, the Macarthur Rams, after a penalty shootout, defeating APIA Leichhardt.
The grand final here, a couple of big saves in the shootout. Tell me, how does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good now. I've never won a grand final before, and for the girls who did it a couple of years before, the 3P, it's amazing. Yeah, I don't know, man, it's just good. Yeah.
And you're new to this club. It's your first season, but the significance of the 3P, what does that mean to you as someone who's come in this year?
Yeah, I was lucky to get game time, so to be a part of this, I feel very grateful, man. I'm buzzing, yeah.
And as Morris came up to take that final penalty, I saw you came over to her, gave her a few words of encouragement. What did you say to the young substitute to get her over the line?
I was just reassuring her she's the best and she's going to win it for us. That's it, yeah.
Thank you so much. Go enjoy the celebrations and congratulations. Thank you, guys. Is fresh off winning his 3rd straight grand final, leaving the club at the end of the year. Perfect send-off has to be.
Oh, you don't want it to go to penalties ever. That's just not cool for anyone. But look, it didn't go the way we wanted. The game, we had to dig in, and the red card / penalty / whatever that was, I think it had a big impact on extra time, obviously. And look, the girls have practiced penalties 5-6 weeks. Yeah. So I was confident with penalties, and the girl that scored the winning penalty, I think she scored every single one at training. So she basically played the last 2 minutes of the game and comes on, scores the pen, which I think is massive credit to her. And look, our goalkeeper's been a tower of strength for us all season. So for me, she deserves that accolade, and that that moment. So what can you say, mate? They're just they're an unbelievable team, unbelievable group of people, and it's just a great way to finish, and I'm just super proud of everybody. It's just amazing, yeah.
And this grand final win puts you in the upper echelon of teams we've seen in this competition. Very rare, very difficult to do. What does this achievement mean in terms of what you've been able to build alongside your support staff at the club?
Look, I mean, coming into Macarthur Rams was a big job because, you know, lots of history, and all you got to do is look at how many times the names are on both of those trophies. So I had a duty to uphold to come in and get us back to where we belonged. And look, every single person that I've had for the 4 years I've been here has been super, from the first pre-season to now. And it's not just the girls that were here today, it's the players that have moved on, the ones that have retired. We've been blessed.
Final question, what were some of the key messages you were telling the girls as they were going out for the penalty shootout? A tough moment for sure.
I just told them to own it. Just told them I was proud of them no matter what happened, and just to own it, and whatever happens, happens, and the football gods will decide. And it was a bit of a strange game, you know, from that perspective. I didn't really know which way it was going to go in that way, but we ended up getting the chocolates, which was interesting. Yeah.
Congratulations again, Stephen. Best of luck, of course, in the A-League Women's next year.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Stephen Peters, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Football New South Wales, a huge congratulations to both our grand final teams on not only today's match, but on their entire seasons. Commiserations to our runners-up. Would you please give them a huge round of applause? APIA Leichhardt. And of course, there can only be one grand final winner. Let them hear it. Congratulations to our newest champions, Macarthur Rams. Football New South Wales thanks everyone for their attendance today and acknowledges Football New South Wales life members, board members and representatives from our NPL New South Wales men's and women's clubs who have joined us here today. Football New South Wales would also like to thank our valued sponsors who continue to support our game: Kappa, Wholesale Trophies, 9 Ad Manager, International Sport College Australia, Pixelot, and the official ball sponsor for the 2024 NPL New South Wales competitions, MITA. Thank you for your contributions. Assisting us today with our presentations, would you please help welcome to the stage Chair of Football New South Wales, Gilbert Lorkay. Deputy Chair of Football New South Wales, Stephanie Brandt. Oh, yeah. And Director of Football New South Wales, Deborah Chapman. Ladies and gentlemen, our first award is for Player of the Match, voted on by today's Football New South Wales journalists. And the Player of the Match is awarded to the player who lifted on the biggest occasion and made the most significant impact in today's grand final. Your player is from the Macarthur Rams. It is Bronte True. Bronte, congratulations. Once we have you receiving your medal, we'll ask you to say a few words.
I would just like to thank the whole team. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And all the reserve grade and all our support over there, thank you so much for being here. It means the world. And let's go. Grand final winners. Woo!
Thank you, Bronte. Congratulations. Well, now we turn our attention to acknowledging the referees who officiated today's grand final. Would you please help me with a round of applause for our lead referee, Isabella Mosson. Assistant referee, Alexis Johnson. Assistant referee, Alana Zick. And our fourth official, Molly Godsall. A big thank you to our officials for today and, of course, throughout the entire NPL women's season across 2024. Well, moving on now to today's runners-up medals. Could I please have the captain of APIA Leichhardt, Charlotte Young, to make a short speech. It's, of course, a very important moment here for Charlotte as well. Her final appearance here for APIA Leichhardt. It has been a distinguished career. Just a few words, and then once you're done, quickly call up each player.
Yeah, no problem. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Rams. A fantastic season. You guys make us play better because you guys play so well and really put the pressure on us every season. So congratulations. And Steve, I hope everything goes well at Perth for you guys. Well done. Girls, it wasn't to be. It's been a fantastic 2 years. I wouldn't want to play for any other club, any other team, and any other group of individuals. So thank you very much, and unlucky for us, but keep going, Forza APIA. Shall I call them up? Let's call up one by one. Player of the match, in my opinion, Soph Hoban, you're up first. Let's go. Kippy, Gisela, Paigey, Ashcrofts, Bryn, Soph, Zoe, TP, Ange, Till, Lanky, Sally, Tanya, Mona, Estelle, Bushy, Rob, Brad. Who have I missed? Am I good? Is that everyone? Josh. Oh, sorry, Josh. Brad. Do I go any of the extra 18 or no? Imi, Mia.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. Congratulations on a wonderful season and a wonderful career. Once more, a round of applause for our runners-up today, ladies and gentlemen, APIA Leichhardt. Let's now move on to our grand final champions, the Macarthur Rams. Could I please have the captain, Madison McComsky?
Firstly, just like to thank APIA. You guys came out, tough fight, right? You didn't give it to us easy at all. Tough fought. I think you guys could have clinched it at any point in the match. You made us go right to the end, so congratulations, guys. Thank you to Football New South Wales for putting on an event like this. A lot of us don't really get to play here often, so it's just an unbelievable experience, so thank you, guys. To the fans, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a game to play, so thank you guys so much. We appreciate all your support. Rammies, my girls, what can I say? What a journey. I love you all so much. It was really a team effort, well fought. I love you all so much. Just enjoy this one tonight, yeah. And lastly, the coaches. Guys, what a season. The last 3 years, unbelievable. Last 4 years has all led us to this moment. Getting the premiership as well was one of our goals. We did that, and we got the grand final. Stephen, John, Peter, Carlos, all aboard. We just appreciate your support. We don't realise all the effort that gets put in behind the scenes, but we're all so grateful for it. And then just lastly, Stephen, just want to give you a send-off. I think I speak for everyone when I say it's been a pleasure to have you as a coach. We're all backing you at Perth, except when you play Wanderers. But you've just been a great mentor, and I'm just so thankful. Thanks, girls. Oh, thanks. Darcy, Mel, T, Wales, Maya, Libby, Indy, Lola, Kel, Bronzy, Kiara, Miku, Chloe, Liv, Chelsea, Tennille, Bethany. Is that everyone? Stephen, John, Pete, Carlos, Andy, M. All right, Trinity. All right. What about like the board?
Big thank you to Madison McCoskey there, and once more, congratulations to the Macarthur Rams. In just a moment, they'll be lifting that all-delightful trophy, and I'm sure there'll be a huge amount of applause here at CommBank Stadium. Don't forget, we're not too far away from our men's NPL Grand Final. Rockdale Illingdon taking on Marconi Stallions. 6 p.m. is the kickoff time. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is upon us. They've worked hard for it all season throughout 2024. They are the champions here on Grand Final Day. This cup belongs to the Macarthur Rams. Madison McCoskey to lift it with her teammates. Congratulations once more, champions for 2024, the Macarthur Rams. Well, thank you for attendance here today and your support throughout the entire season. We look forward to welcoming you back in 2025. And don't forget, of course, we still have the NPL Men's New South Wales Grand Final kicking off at 6 p.m. And we welcome you to stick around for what promises to be another memorable match. And once more, congratulations to both APIA Leichhardt and the Macarthur Rams.